does have big-name partnerships, but makes sure he maintains creative control. And he reinvests earnings from these deals back into his own brand.
If Nike gives me $1 million check, I don't go and put that in my pocket or try to go get a bunch of cool stuff. I'll go and try to spend that money on one of the episodes of my TV show.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. That shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to, I'm going to call this a very special program. Today is Friday, December 19th, 2025. You know, there's this fella that I know, and he is a host, I'm going to call him, I don't know, co-host of the morning show, legendary Homer Blow. I said, Homer, you got some time to stick around? He was like, yeah, I'll stick around with you. So we have Homer Blow in the studio with us this morning. Homer, how you doing, man?
I am blessed, man. How are you doing, Sherwin?
I'm good. Is this the first time that you and I, have we done this before since you've started? We had to have.
Yeah.
Done some segments before.
Yeah.
All right.
We have.
Well, I think we should do them much more often.
Okay. I mean.
Because we got a common thread. Myself, yourself, DJ Ricky Allenz, my esteemed producer, and Rhea Riley. We all come from essentially the same place. Get
you esteemed? Okay. Hey, Ricky, esteemed. I'm sorry.
Hold on. On certain days. On certain days, he is more esteemed than others.
That's some gravy there.
I got to give him some credit because I'm not always the easiest person to work with, but let me tell you why.
Why?
our community deserves our very best. They don't deserve any shortcuts. They deserve the best information, the most accurate information, because for so long, so many of us have been kept from that accurate information. And Homer, I know you know this. When our community is misinformed,
At all times, man, because we get let down, unfortunately, in so many different areas. And we talk about representing, giving people a voice, and we have to, practice what we speak about. And that's why I think it's so important that we keep it real to the next level and give them the truth and allow them to give us their truth, because it's going to take a collective in order to get these things turned around. It's going to take some collaboration. Some people are going to have to check their egos. They're going to have to understand that we will get more accomplished together than staying divided just because this person don't like that. That's not going to help us move forward. We got to come together. We got to unite. It's going to take a collaborative effort. I hear you talking about the voting numbers and how many black people, and it's like, if all the black people did vote, we still need the help of some white people, some Latinos, you know what I'm saying, Asians. So that just goes to show you, even if we call ourselves, we're all pulling together, we're still going to need some support to help get these things pushed across the finish line.
Certainly. I mean, our bigger agenda items like national policy, even statewide policy that can impact the African American community is going to require broad coalitions of other people. But we're a very unusual and unique culture in that, like, you may fund one particular minority group, give them $10 billion, and they may see marginal results in employment and in education. You give black folks $2.5 million, and we will take the smallest amount of resource, and we will be able to roll that into incredible amounts of accomplishment. There's something about us where we don't need nearly as much. We just need some opportunity, and we can oftentimes make the most of that, because as a community, I think that we are incredibly resourceful. The other thing that I've noticed, though, because sometimes the people that listen to this program are, well, sometimes they're insane. Other times they are very, motivated and inspired, and they'll come up with these incredible ideas and solutions, because I certainly believe that the solutions to our problems lie in the minds and in the conversations that we have with everyday folks, right? And they'll say, oh, Sherwin, here's what we need to improve education. Here's what we need to improve, the low rates of employment. And the things that they say, like 90% of the best solutions that I hear are directly related to our electoral participation. Did we vote? Did we vote for the candidate that had your exact same agenda in mind? And when I asked them, well, did you vote for school board? Well, did you vote for your alderperson? Because there was an alderperson that had that exact same agenda that you were just talking about, that you think is so brilliant that will help our community. Did you vote? Well, what had happened was, I was in my mama's house, and we have to stop with the excuses and complaints, don't we, Homer?
Yeah, man. I'm allergic to ENC's excuses and complaints.
That's it.
Because they continue to hold us back. The reason why. Well, what are the reasons for? And if you can't, tell me what your reasons for are, then you're more of a hindrance to us and moving ahead. So just move out the way. Move out the way. Just admit that you're not for us. You're not willing to fight the fight. It's going to be ugly fights. And it's going to be some people that you're going to get into it with that you may be afraid to rumble with them. But when you got a collective, when you got enough people to say, look, no, you're right. I agree with that perspective, or I agree that we need to do this and we need to do that. You'll find out what that support system looks like. We got a bigger support system than most people think, but it's just some people are selfish, Sherwin.
No, I know.
Selfish as hell.
But also those selfish people have to be okay with, in some context, less selfish people are going to be making decisions on their behalf. Because if you're selfish and you just want everything for yourself, and if you are participating in an election, or more likely you are not, your voice is going to be diminished, and therefore you being selfish does not serve anyone. But people like myself and others, you too, Homer, when we go out and make political decisions, we are making decisions on behalf of those folks who put themselves before they put their community. Homer, how long have you been doing talk radio? So from the first day that you started, whatever that day was, as an intern, as carrying records in a crate, what was the first, how long ago have you been doing radio?
34 years in
34
counting.
years.
34 years in counting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is, it's not an easy endeavor. I think that people think that it's simple. It has its ups and its downs. In the 34 years that you have been involved in, I'm just going to say broadcasting, what are some of the most rewarding things about it to you?
To have people that listen to you and let you know, like, look, we are people's best friends sometimes, and especially from where radio evolved, we're their best friend. Like, they haven't met us, but it's like they know us. They defend us. Like, if somebody says something, they would take it offensive. Like, hold on, you better not say nothing about Sherwin. Now, Sherwin, I don't agree with everything that Sherwin say.
It's always, I don't agree with everything.
Right.
I got to start with that.
Which is showing you that they're keeping it real to the next level. You get what I'm saying? Because nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So to just know that the impact that you've had, and when people end up meeting you, telling you how much you mean to them and how much you being on the air, whether you're entertaining them musically, whether you're giving them information, where you're letting them know where the resources are, how much that has impacted their life. Those are the things, man, that you know, I've been blessed to be like a DJ before going into radio. I wasn't aspiring to go into radio. The late Ernie G was the one that ended up coming to different clubs and lounges that I was DJing at, and lines around the corner. And they're like, who is this guy? You know, so I wasn't a radio personality, but it was like, who? I'm hosting concerts, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and all of this stuff. So I'm at Fresh Fest, all those things, but I wasn't in radio. And a lot of those artists from back then would ask, you know, hey, what station you on? I'm not on the radio. You ain't on the radio? But, man, it was packed here. We went and done this. We went to the club. It was packed. And so it was just a thing that when Ernie ended up saying, send him an air check, the crazy thing about it is, taking it close, my brother, who, may he rest in peace now, he passed away in April of this year. I have so many immediate relatives that are deceased, but family members. So Ernie told me to give my brother, Verdell, an air check, and so he could take it to him. I gave him an air check, and when I didn't hear anything black, I wasn't tripping. I'm still packing clubs. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing all the things I love to do. Then Ernie said, when he came and he saw me at another club or a function or whatever, or a concert, he'd be like, hey, I thought I told you to send me an air check. I said, I did. I gave it to my brother. All right, well, send another one. I did. I'd done that 4 times. Ernie never got it. Then Ernie saw me again. He said, man, you procrastinate. Why you ain't? I said, I gave it to my brother. He said, I tell you what, you come to the station, you ask for me, and hand it directly to me. So I did that, went up in the office, which is not usual in radio. You drop it off. The program director, music director has a chance to listen to it, listen to your air check, and then decide he's going to call you Black Ian or call her Black Ian, whoever it may be, and see, you know, had that conversation. So he said, no, you come on up. He said, usually I don't do this. And he ended up listening to the air check, and then he critiqued it or whatnot. And he was like, you know what? What are you doing next week? I said, I'm free. He said, I want you to come in and start, you know, training the board and learning the board.
What radio station was this at, Homer?
WNOV.
Okay.
And, of course, they threw me in the fire on Juneteenth. We always participate in Juneteenth. So it was like everybody else was in the parade or whatever, you know, or they was going to be down there, whatever the case may be. So I had to run the board for the whole day, the call-ins and all of that kind of stuff. So, and that was The first day that I started in radio was June 11th. June 11th.
1991.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were y'all still using...
Man,
was it reel to reel still? Was it tape?
Yeah.
You had to take the razor and splice the tape?
We had the QRK turntable. Anybody in radio for a long time, you know what the QRK turntables were. They had the little levers that you had to switch it to what speed and all of that.
That's before my time, bro.
Heavy.
I was a baby.
They were heavy. And we had the carts, which looked like 8 tracks. We had the reel-to-reel where we had to splice when cutting commercials and all of that. So I came from the grassroots of learning radio. And I had to cut spots all the time. They loved my voice. And so I was always doing production. I'd end up becoming the production manager as well as being an on-air personality. And man, I just went through the trenches. And that's why when I had a chance to become that person, program director and music director, like 4 years after I got in over at WNOV, I became the program director and music director and was there until I chose to resign.
If you look at where radio where it started, just even in your career, and where it has evolved to right now, where then it was very much mechanical, it was analog, hardly anything was digital. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 screens in here.
That's right.
You know, I make my music with artificial intelligence. It is just the way technology has rooted itself in broadcast. I think it's fantastic, and the fact that you have been here and involved in this endeavor, which I'm going to call it an art, because to do radio and to do it every day and to do it successfully and to have people want to listen to you, there is something very artistic about that. So I wanted you to tell that story for people who might be unfamiliar with you, because I know that some folks who joined us at 101.7 The Truth as our new listeners 5 years ago may have just started listening to talk radio because of this new platform, but they have got to know the history of this endeavor, and you cannot tell that story without the legendary Homer Blow.
Yeah, I had boards up with paper on it. We had to read. We had no screens. There were no screens.
What I'll say about the most rewarding thing for me about this endeavor is we'll have a conversation on air. And, you know, you don't really think much of it because once you get off the air, you go on with your day or whatever. But then to hear that conversation echoed like on social media or somebody else puts it in a post, and now it is a conversation that is being had off the air. I know that we had such a conversation not too long ago about what do we do with Northridge Mall. We had a really, really good discussion that day about a black entertainment district. Ricky, you remember that. We called it the BED, the Black Entertainment District, where you'd have shops and stores and restaurants, because that's 58 acres of basically blank land. And in the city of Milwaukee, you don't really get that kind of open space. The Department of City Development just put up their ideas for Northridge, and don't you know that they have an official PowerPoint that they are presenting to the city about an entertainment district? So not only did we have that great conversation that day, the city and city government took that conversation that we had here and is going to roll that into a potential entertainment district for the Northridge area.
Hey, Safe, man, tell them you need that paper. That paper.
Ricky, they're not going to give me anything. They won't even pay me attention. And you know, here's what's crazy.
You need that money, man.
And so when I heard about it, it was from the mayor, but the mayor was on TMJ. So we had a conversation here on 101.7 The Truth, but then as I'm looking at my colleagues and seeing what they were talking about, I see Cavalier Johnson. Look, we're gonna. All you got to do is sound like Obama and sound like the mayor. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna have some entertainment. We're gonna do some creative things out there for Northridge. So I still take great pride, even if our ideas get stolen. If those ideas come to fruition and if it helps our community, I'm all for it. We got to take a break. Homer, you got a little time to stick around?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hang out with Homer Blow for a little bit on this special Friday. You know what we're going to do today?
What's that?
Because I've come to find out that I can have what I think are the best topics to discuss, but the best topics often come from you all, the listeners, the callers, the YouTube chatters, and the texters. Whatever you want to talk about today, I may regret this, but whatever you all...
That happened earlier this week.
And it was great until it flew off the rails, but hell, it's Friday and it's been a long week. So if you have questions, we have answers. That is the title of today's show. Anything you got a question about, you want a question that you want to ask me, you want to ask Homer, you can ask Ricky. Call in with your questions. If it's a political question, if it's a social question, I don't care. You need dating advice. You want to know how to make sweet love to your woman or whatever.
You asked for trouble today.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to help people. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes exclusively on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The revolution starts in our mind, right? You know when Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised? Like he didn't mean that you won't be able to watch it on TV. He means the revolution starts in your mind. You nincompoop. Y'all been running around saying that for 60 years. The revolution won't be televised and didn't even know what the hell it meant. It starts with us.
Let him cook. Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
What is a DJ? Do we just play music? Maybe some are that simple. For me, I create memories that last a lifetime. I'm always thinking about how songs connect. I read the room. Every event is an open canvas, a new world. So what's a DJ when you hire me? I'm a vibe architect, a curator of euphoria, a guaranteed good time.
I know you want me. Every day not only when you're lonely.
Whether you have a wedding, festival, corporate event, or any other special occasion, get your free consultation with DJ Remaniac today.
Trailblazer.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
We have the legendary Homer Blow in studio with me. Homer, we have a connection as well. Not only did you, I guess, assist me in my radio career. Well, you started it, quite honestly, if we're being honest about it. But also prior to that, you DJ'd for my aunt and uncle many years ago at People's Lounge. Mm-hmm. You DJ'd a family reunion for my family probably 25 years ago, which was the first time I saw my parents slow dance, actually. It was at a Homer Blow DJ'd family reunion. It was weird, Homer, because, you know what I mean? It was weird.
Right.
Daddy was touching my mama's ass. I didn't necessarily care for that, but we were all having a great time. But yeah, we go back, and you go back with my uncle and my aunt to when you were, you're 18. Right?
Well, actually,
give or take.
Yeah. Actually, I was not old enough to be in there, and this is why so many people, when they think about, like, man, my great auntie or my great grandmama said she was partying with you, because I was.
How does
such
that make
you
feel though when you hear that? Like, you're in your fourth generation.
Yeah, man. I just talk about intergenerational. I accept it. I explained to some people, but like, man, how long you been? But I was a teen. I was just barely, a teen. When I started DJing at People's Lounge. So you got to think that then anybody in People's Lounge that may have been 20 or 30 years old or 40 years old.
Oh, Homer, they're dead now. A lot of them are not here anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
So
especially with the way my Uncle Mac pour drinks, I know they ain't still alive.
Yeah. Renee, listen. So that, and that's what I try to explain to people. I'm like, yeah, so that's why it seems like, like, man, you have to have been around, but it's like I started so young, and being able to DJ, because I didn't drink. I don't drink. And so because I don't drink, I wasn't trying to sneak in the bars to drink and all of that. I was just going to party. I wanted to dance. I liked to dance. So that was it. But yeah, man, when I think about even the birthday party for the kids, which 31 years old this year, it'll be 32 next year. Thank you. And you think about it was children from 2 to 13 years old. So you think about the 13-year-old that was at the first party. And I also, for the first 16 years of my party, it was Homer Blow's birthday party for the kids from 2 to 6 p.m. And then I would immediately at 7 p.m. from 7 to 10, I would do it for children 14 to 17. Mm-hmm. So I've done that for like 16 years. So you think about the person that might have been 14 or 17 when I done the first birthday party for the kids.
Grandparents now.
Right. So that just kind of shows you. And when I have people that come up to me and talk about, I remember a woman may say, I got a doll from your birthday party, and I gave the doll to my daughter and all of that kind of stuff. It really warms my heart that it made such an impact, because that's what I wanted to do, have an impact on my community, allow children to be able to be children, because they're so guarded now. And
they grow up too quickly a lot of times.
Yeah, and to be able to help people out. Your son or daughter may deserve that $300-400 electric ride-in car, but it's like, I got to get the real car fixed. I got to get the bills paid. I got to get to and from work. So to be able to do this party and continue to grow it and give away these toys and bikes and all of that stuff for free, it's just a great feeling, and it makes the children feel great, giving them book bags and other resources and just being able to be kids. I tell the volunteers, don't tell them don't run. Children got energy, let them run, let them have fun.
That's right.
So that was like my inspiration for starting the party, even before starting to get sponsorship. I didn't get that until like year 16, 17.
Probably one of the greatest gifts that we can give our community, if you look at things that are missing that we can kind of supplement, it is consistency. Mm-hmm. To be here every day on the air is consistency. For you now going into your second generation, quite honestly, of your birthday party for the kids is something that I know and have noticed is missing from our community, because people don't even live in the same house for more than 2 years sometimes. And, a mama will get married and get divorced and have a new boyfriend, and then the kids come and then they go, and then some people go to jail and they come back. There's so much inconsistency. And the fact that you have been involved in these very public endeavors for so long, I think is a tremendous gift to the community. Another tremendous gift to the community is, hello, Bob.
Hello, Sherwin. Homer Blow, huh? How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yes, sir. Okay, I got 1,000 questions, but I got.
No, you don't. No. One. Pick one question.
Okay. Well, okay, I can't give you 1,000 questions. All right. I just give you one. I think one of the worst things in history, in this world, is when USP was supposed to be released to poor people. And I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, 700,000 people starved to death so far.
Bob, hold on. What is USP?
They send food to the poor lands, like Africa, and it wasted. Hold on,
USAID? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it rotted rather than send it to them poor people. And I heard 700 people died because of Trump just let it sit there. Is that worse than a genocide?
No.
Of Hitler bombing them?
No, it's not worse than a genocide. It's not.
Is that worse than the bombing of Japan?
No. So the reason why we had the USAID program is we would influence foreign governments.
I'll listen to you off the air.
Please do. Thank you, Bob. That's fine. Bob had his question. He didn't know what the damn acronym was. He had the wrong acronym. I often have to translate for Bob. He meant USAID. So the United States would provide food and other types of aid to foreign countries, not because we're nice. The United States doesn't do anything because we're nice, because we would use that food to influence the policies of those countries. So if those countries didn't allow American companies and corporations to go over there and exploit their third world country labor, we would pull our food subsidies. So we weren't doing it because we were nice. Now, we also believe that it's the responsibility of a nation, of a people, to feed their own folks, because in some of those third world countries, the leaders are so corrupt that they hoard money and they hoard tax revenue that should be used to feed the people, and they put it in their pockets. So the United States saw like a vacuum, like, oh no, we'll provide your grain and your rice, but here's the policy that you have to adopt in your country and allow American corporations to come over here and exploit your labor. So I don't look at that as the kind of emergency that Bob and other people do. I don't think the United States should be bribing other nations and coercing them with food to try and follow our policies, because we don't want any other countries around the world following Donald Trump policies. On that note, I'm going to take a break, come back. Homer and I are ready for your questions. Y'all don't want to? Nobody wants to talk about WNOV? No? Okay. I'm just saying, if you can. I'm not trying to steer the conversation, but I'm just, we don't have to talk about any of that. Hell, you got damn near half of WNOV staff right now. Me, Ricky, Homer. I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our conversation. Homer, I'm just, as long as you want to be here and can stay, I'm going to keep you here now. We're going to chat today.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and Homer Blow. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance. At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe in high expectations, strong character, and academic excellence starting as early as age of 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee. And the best part about it all, Milwaukee College Prep is tuition free. If you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is the place. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to learn more. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors, it probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just a, what I'll call, average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At some point, Homer, I want to ask you about artificial intelligence and its influence on music. I'd love to get your perspective on that, because some people think it's cheating.
I loved her when the world
No?
It is.
All right, okay, good. I want to get your brief opinion on that. Let's talk to Al from the Sherman Parks. How are you this morning?
Well, hello, gentlemen. I have two questions, one for Homer specifically. Homer, my grandparents lived on near Meineke and Hubbard. What area did you live on, Hubbard?
I lived off of Center in Hubbard.
Oh, okay, somewhere northward. Okay. Here's a topic that I'd never hear touched on Black Talk Radio. It's whether or not the U.S. government has captured UFOs, and if they have extraterrestrials that they've captured or shot. Because I was in shock that in 1952 there were actually UFOs over the Washington, D.C. Capitol for 2 weekends in a row, and they had a public press conference after the fact. And you can go look it up on YouTube and see that they actually came out and said that there were extraterrestrial life out there, and that we've been getting some of our technology from the extraterrestrials.
Homer?
We aren't the only intelligent life in the universe.
Wait, who's that question directed toward? That was Homer's question.
No, I just said, he said Hubbard.
Both of you.
He was talking about.
Oh, that was, all right.
Yeah.
The UFO question is both of you. Okay. They said the government is afraid to tell people because it will break down the structures of government, people's belief in religion, and they're afraid it will ruin the economy.
So I don't believe that extraterrestrial life that would have the ability to travel thousands of light years to arrive at Earth are dumb enough to get caught. That's number one, because the amount of technology that you have to have is so extreme and so extraordinary that they wouldn't get caught. But I think the speculation about UFOs and the fact that there are conspiracy theorists out there, I think that probably benefits the government more than anything else, because if you can speculate about that, then people will speculate about, Kamala Harris might also be an alien, and really Barack Obama probably was born in Kenya. I do not believe that kind of intelligent life would be dumb enough to get caught by us. And so since you like YouTube videos, Al from Sherman Park, there are YouTube videos that show. So Russia had, during the Cold War, when we were spying on Russia and they were spying on us, they had technology that far outpaced that of the United States with unmanned aircraft. Basically, what we thought were UFOs at the time were Russian drones. But in the 1950s, that technology was so foreign to us, Americans would look up and be like, oh, my God, what the hell is that? It's an unidentified flying object. No, it was a military-developed piece of technology that could spy on the United States. And those would crash. And, yes, they were shaped like discs and flying saucers, because that made them much more aerodynamic. But that was not from some foreign or some alien planet. Those were Russian attempts at creating drone technology. So sorry to burst your bubble. But to me, when people talk about aliens, that's the same as somebody saying the Earth is flat, because they're both ridiculous. Because the amount of technology you would need to conquer time travel, like how you going to have that kind of technology and then mess around and like the spaceship falls in northern Kentucky? Come on now.
No, they said that our radar threw their electrical fields off. They thought it was a weapon that we were using against them, and they were ready to actually go to war with us until they, I guess they monitored it and found out that the radar was just automatically going off on its own. It wasn't something aimed and burning out their computer systems on their saucers or whatever.
Hey, man, put the YouTube down for a little while, brother. Maybe. Thank you for that. We got a whole bunch of calls. Let's talk to Walt. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning, Sherwin. Good morning,
what love? Look at that.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing fine. I just wanted to give kudos to you two brothers, man. What you've been doing in this community and how long you've been in this community and doing the things that you do. You know, Homer, we had to have you as one of the first awardees for the Urban Network and myself and Miller London, when we put that together, you were one of the first people that I thought about because of the extensive stuff that you've done in this community and the legends. You are definitely a legend in this community, and I wanted to make sure that we had recognized you and all the efforts that you do. My brother, kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always honored and humbled. Yep.
Hey, man, you are. And, I mean, we've seen each other. I would hope that more of the local personalities would have the camaraderie like you and I have. You see me someplace, hey, Walt, how you doing?
Absolutely.
What's going on? If you're hosting a show, you always recognize me. If I'm hosting a show, I recognize everybody, that even if we weren't at the same radio station.
Absolutely.
Because, I often have advocated that we don't own a lot of radio stations. Black people don't own a lot of radio stations.
Now we own even less.
And exactly. With what happened, for the past 5 years or better, I had been trying to purchase WNOV. I had a banker that was ready to do it, and this couple of demagoguery happened with Renee Moore. After that, Lena Taylor tried to put us together, and there was a whole bunch of mess with Renee. And then after that, and then Gerald passed away. Unfortunately, we all have to go that way. And then someone else took it over. So just to say, and what happened now is like, wow, really? And from my understanding, it's not a black conglomerate that bought it, and there is no reason for them to continue to support the black community the way that NOV has supported this community for umpteen years. And a lot of people don't think that. Homer, you and I, excuse me, and Sherwin know how this goes. They're going to gradually make changes. They're going to gradually make moves. Now, they could go in and flip the script like they did with me and Mike Hightower at 103.7. Boom, it turned into CHR Radio, and we were Rhythm and Romance, Magic 103.7. So that's the business of this thing that a lot of our people don't know, but they have to kind of, excuse me, your power is that dial. I'm talking about the people that are listening. Your power is that dial. And then your other power is phone calls and letters. We do not write enough letters to these entities so that they will understand that, we are concerned about what kind of, whether it's demagoguery or whatever, you feed into our community. So I just wanted to express those things a little bit. And I'm so sad by the fact that this station went by. I call it the wayside. So
thank you, Walt. Always a pleasure, brother.
All right, my guys. Take care.
Love you, bro. Appreciate you. And thank you again for the recognition.
Man. All right. Another legend, Walt Love, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We're going to take a break, going to come back and talk to him. Hold on a second, Ricky. This person on line 3, that's a different Bob. Okay, because the other Bob said he had 1,000 questions. I don't need him calling back with questions. The other 999. So we're going to take a break, come back, and go to the phone lines. If you have questions, comments, concerns, want love-making advice, whatever, it's fine. It's Friday. 833-212-1017.
You be opening yourself up for whatever, bro.
It's fine. 212-1017. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and Homer Blow. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person, depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Calidora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
You make time for everyone else. Family, work, everything in between. Now it's time to take care of you. If you're 45 to 64 and don't have insurance or your plan doesn't cover screenings, you may qualify for free mammograms and Pap tests through the City of Milwaukee Health Department's Breast and Cervical Cancer Awareness Program. Call 414-286-2133 to see if you're eligible. Real self-care starts with your health, and early detection saves lives. Funded by Wisconsin Well Woman. Learn more at milwaukee.gov/wellwoman.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. The legendary Homer Blow is in studio with me. We're taking questions and comments, whatever it is that you all want to talk about. So the thing about AI music, Homer,
all this sounds AI,
is it allows people, I'm not saying who, to explore different genres of music. It just allows them to do that. And let's say you happen to have a radio show and you want to play popular music. Well, of course you do that on your radio show, but because we have a YouTube component, YouTube might freeze or block a show if too much or too long of a copyrighted song is played on a YouTube video, because that would be us, 1017 The Truth, being monetized off of somebody else's music. And I've had whole shows taken down because I played 3 seconds too long of a Michael Jackson song. So what will I do? I'll make my own Michael Jackson music. Let's talk to Bobby. You're on 1017 The Truth. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you fellas hear me?
We can hear you, Bobby. What's on your mind?
All right. When I became a little bit enlightened, man, gotten a little bit older, and I started to listen to talk radio, black radio shows, one of the first guys I came across was Eric Vaughn. And I'm not sure if it was 860 he was on or 1290 when I first started listening to him, but you guys have always kind of kept me in that mind and in that spirit. With that being said, thank you guys for what y'all do in the community and for the work that y'all do every day coming on the radio, enlightening us about.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Now, my question is this, guys. I'm going to name 3 conditions, and you guys tell me which one will advance the black community of Milwaukee the most. And then, how would you go about implementing it or addressing the issue? First, housing. Second, family supporting jobs. And third, violence reduction. Of the 3 issues, which one would help the black community the most, and how would you guys implement it?
Bobby, this is a complicated one. Can we answer while you're off the air? Because otherwise.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you,
driving,
Bobby.
So I'll listen.
All right, we appreciate you calling. Thank you for your support. So it is violence reduction, family supporting jobs, and housing. We have to have all three. We got to be able to walk and chew gum, but if I had to prioritize those three, I would say the family supporting jobs, because if someone has an endeavor and a career and they're making money, with the money they can potentially buy a house, because we got a bunch of different housing programs. That's why I'm connected with Axe Housing, actually. So you get the family supporting jobs, then the man in particular, because I think a lot of black men have lost their worth and their value and their position in this world because we are unemployed and underemployed. So first the job, then the housing, and then when you have the job in the house, you got stuff to lose. You're going to be out there acting a fool in the street. In fact, if you're working hard, your ass in the house by 9 o'clock every night because you're too tired out there to be doing foolishness. So I think that if we had to pick, I had to prioritize, I would personally say the jobs. Homer, what about you?
I would definitely say ditto with that because of the exact same reasons that you're talking about. And as it relates to crime, you're never going to have zero crime. But I think the crime intervention would be easier to deal with if we had those other two components in the order that you spoke of. The crime would be minimal. Because if you look at a lot of communities that have all of those other two things in place, when they do have a crime, to be like, well, that never happens here because of that very thing. So there's not a lot of crime intervention that is needed. I mean, the law enforcement are able to just sit in a parking lot getting sandwiches all day, or you know what I'm saying, pulling up to the Strawberry Fest and all of that kind of stuff, because the crime is really not an issue when you have those other two things solidly in place.
Investing in job training and attracting more economic activity and having programs where people can become homeowners. Because if you're a homeowner, you got something that's not only building wealth and value, you got something you want to take care of. Right? Mm-hmm. And so that helps stabilize communities. You're much more likely to know your neighbors, because if all y'all got 30-year mortgages, you clearly ain't going nowhere. So the likelihood you're going to be there for your neighbors. And that also cuts down on crime, too, when you know who your next door neighbor is. And if you see cars lurking around that you don't normally see, I always say be that nosy neighbor. But you have to know and care about your neighbor in order for you to be properly nosy. But investing in those things is cheaper than having and hiring more cops, more patrols, and building more jails. Because if we invest in those things that previous caller just mentioned, we would have a lot more revenue. We could get like the lead laterals out of the ground. We'd have more revenue to invest it back into people and back in education, because we're spending way too much money on the wrong things, which is incarceration and confinement. Let's talk to Sandra. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are we both?
We're all good.
Over there at the studio today.
Everybody doing all right.
Okay, good.
Bless.
Okay, I was listening, and I was listening to Homer. I was listening this morning, too, and you were speaking of marijuana, and what else was that? The hood. Mm-hmm. Number one, I just had a question about the hood, because usually when you say hood, it's like a destructive neighborhood where it's all beat up and beat down. Is that a good word to use for the central city, I'm saying?
Okay, well, here's what when me and Dame had the discussion of hood versus neighborhood, I prefer a neighborhood. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a neighborhood. Mm-hmm. There was poverty, but it was a neighborhood. So when we have seen it go down, and to where when a lot of people, when they talk about, man, well, that's what you expect, you in the hood. What you expect, you in the hood. Mm-hmm. So it's more of, in my opinion, a negative connotation to it, because they tell you, oh, they got a great restaurant, but it's in the hood. Oh, man, at this gas station, they sell this chicken, but it's in the hood. It's like, you better think twice. You better keep your head on a swivel, because although it's something great going on, you might end up finding yourself in a situation in a neighborhood, just like where Sherwin was talking about, like you know your neighbors, you're a homeowner, you know your neighbors, you know that. And even if you are a renter, it was just the respect of be like, yes, we may not have much, but we have each other. And that's what a neighborhood brings about, in my opinion. When you just get used to, man, they be selling dope in the hood. The house is going to be ran down in the hood. We made what we had look good. We done lawn care. You get what I'm saying? We ain't have Happy Lawn coming out, but we took that little lawnmower and went down and all of that. So we did what we had to do. So I definitely think that it's a negative connotation when we say hood, even though people glorify it and make it seem like it's a good thing. I think it looks at us as black people in a dark light.
Hope that answers your question,
because I was thinking that too. No, I want to call it a paradise instead of the hood, because when you first go to, you holler the hood, right away they think of crime and black crime. And so I'm trying to get, especially when I talk people to the point of not pointing at themselves all the time, because everybody black is not a criminal.
Right.
And so they make it look so bad. So, well, that's what I just wanted to, get his idea on what he feel about the neighborhood, because I live directly in it. I watched the boarded up houses. I watched the building inspector used to come here when white people lived here, because I've been here all my life. I'm 76.
Sandra, we got to land the plane.
All of them build the expressway.
We got to take a break.
Okay, I watched them build an expressway and put their people out and tear down the neighborhood. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. All right, Sandra. All right, got to land the plane now. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and the legendary Homer Blow will be right back for hour 2.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
A TUC. It's called the Senate Civil Suits for Unauthorized Data Seizures. In the continuing resolution that had to be voted on in order to open the government, authorizes U.S. senators to file civil lawsuits against the U.S. government, including the Department of Justice, for up to $500,000 in damages per violation if federal law enforcement seizes or subpoenas their phone or other data without prior notification. Hold on, wait a minute. If you have been accused of a crime and there's evidence and probable cause, and the federal government or any investigating agency gets a warrant from a judge to seize your cell phone records, there's nothing you can do about that.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
Most elves have pointy shoes. I have 4 paws.
Ho, ho, ho. Pallet, how's my favorite helper making the season shine?
Oh, just sprinkling a little color wherever I go. You see, Santa, my person's a veteran, and some days the memories are heavy. When her skies turn gray, I help fill her heart with shades of hope, the purple of laughter, the blue of courage, and the happy hue of joy.
Sounds like you're painting the world brighter.
That's right, Santa. I'm more than her service dog. I'm her living paintbrush. With every swoosh of my tail, I add a stroke of cheer to her canvas. With every longing gaze, I brush love on the picture we're creating together. A masterpiece, wrapped in warmth and tied with a bow.
Now that's a gift you can't put under a tree.
This season, help paint the picture. Learn more at dogsinc.org.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269BL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Father.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. My in-studio guest, the legendary, the also esteemed Homer Blow. What up, Homer?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Yeah, that hood conversation is always... Bailey got into it this morning with the hood.
It's also a matter of perspective. So I love Bailey, but I don't really know where to place her because she is from a place, like most black people that I meet, wherever I meet them, are from places where I have an understanding of the black culture, right? If I meet a black person from New York, well, hip-hop culture, right? Mm-hmm. And black people have been influential in New York for 100 years, or the Harlem Renaissance, right?
Absolutely.
If I meet a black person from Atlanta, from Texas, from Memphis, because my family's in the South, I got an understanding of black culture in the South. Even if I meet somebody black from the West Coast, from L.A., I have an understanding, a cultural understanding and respect for black people that might live in L.A. Black folks from Seattle? That I wonder if, because sometimes when we say we're from Milwaukee and we travel to other places, people say, "Oh, what? They got black people in Milwaukee?" Yep. My response to that is, yes, too many, actually. When somebody says, like Bailey says, she's from Seattle, because I've never known another African American from Seattle that has come here and become successful here, right? So I probably have the same reaction to her saying she's from Seattle, like someone may have the reaction when we say we're from Milwaukee. But Bailey is. She's different. I don't want to say she's not like us. Milwaukee people are like hardened. Bailey is still so sweet, right? Bailey, as mad as Bailey ever gets is, oh, my French fries weren't fresh at McDonald's. And she'll like slightly pound her hand on the counter. Like that's as angry as she gets. She doesn't have that Milwaukee black anger, which I appreciate and admire about her. But I think it's got to be because of where she's from. Because Milwaukee folks, if I go anywhere in the world, right, and I just hear like a commotion or yelling and screaming, depending upon what the commotion, yelling, and screaming is, they from Milwaukee. Because we're known, like we stick out wherever we go because there's something very unique about Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. But Bailey being from Seattle, that's why I think her perspectives are not the same as ours. She's just a more optimistic person. Mm-hmm. What's it like to work with her, Homer?
Oh, it's great, man. Me and Bailey, we've been friends for a long time. And, of course, definitely veterans in the radio game. And to be able to have friends, that's one of the things that I really hold near and dear. I don't just like just meeting people. I like to be able to become friends. I like them to be able to know that, I see them, I respect them. Even if we have a difference of opinion or different things, it still doesn't mean that we're not friends and we can move forward and all of that. So Bailey has just been a blessing to our city. She's been a blessing to radio. And she's a great person, so that's what I love and appreciate about Bailey.
She's such a gentle contrast, though, too. Because even when I have conversations with her, it kind of softens me up a little bit because her perspective. I'm so jaded, Homer. Okay. And I don't know how you're not doing what we do, talking to people that we talk to, wanting our community to be better. And yes, I can say that we have seen some improvements, but just some of the same stuff that we've been railing against for years, Homer. I know. And I get so frustrated. I don't know if Bailey has that frustration like some of us have.
Well, I believe that she does, and she brings it out at different times. And I think that when you hit on different subjects or topics that strike home and strikes a nerve for certain people, it brings it out, and you be like, there is that. What is it? The Transformers, they're looking for the spark. You know what I'm saying? So, no, she does have that, but she also just has such a love and compassion for people. And even in the things that she does now, working with some of our seasoned citizens, it just gives you a different perspective. You really get to think about what was this person's life like and what took them down this path. And it's like, you know what? Okay, I can understand how this person may have a skewed view on certain things. So I think that is one of the great things that makes her unique. I think her being a woman and being able to truly give the woman's perspective on some situations that we as men may be one-sided with, but she gives you that balance to make you think and be like, you know what? Okay, I can see that. I can see that, even if I feel this way.
When you and her have, I guess, differences of either opinion or perspective, and then I walk in, I kick the door open, right? Y'all sometimes may bring me into the previous discussion that you all were having about where you and her may have a difference of opinion. You and I agree on a bunch of stuff. So hood versus neighborhood, we agree. But also devil's spawn. So she was in here, I think, with Dame one day this week, and that conversation must have come up again. And she was, for those of you that don't know, I personally believe that some people, they could be young people, they could be adult young people, are just so damn evil to their core. They are beyond help or rehabilitation. They do dastardly things to innocent people. And it's not a lot of people, but there's a subsection of human beings who are spawns of the devil. And sometimes they are children. And we can sit and be soft and say, but it's not their fault, and it got to have some help for the babies, until they steal your car, murder your dog, and then you come home and they in your kitchen eating your barbecue. There's some people that are just beyond reproach when it comes to common sense, and just you got to write them off. But Bailey was like, I'm never going to give up. But Bailey, they're eating your barbecue. They broke into your house. They're wearing your favorite sweater. No, but they probably were cold and hungry. And I love her for that, but I just don't, she and I don't see eye to eye. But I also think that men have a deeper appreciation for how bad, evil, and violent other men can be.
Yes.
Women may experience it, but we all know men that have plotted and schemed awful and horrible and violent things just as a matter of conversation. So I think that my perspective on the devil's spawn is informed by some of the boys and men that I have known throughout my lifetime that are just evil people.
And so for some of the women who may not understand it, okay, this is where we're going. I always talk about Mary J. Blige's song, platinum song, Not Gonna Cry, from the Wait and Exhale soundtrack. And she makes the song, and talking about 11 years, she wasted, basically. She should have left his ass a long time
Was your
ago,
lover
2
and your
years
secretary?
in, right? So my thing is, after 2 years and you saw the evilness and you stayed for an additional 9 years, that's giving too damn much. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So now, after 11 years, you want to talk about the evil and the devil spawn that this person is. But you recognize it 2 years in. So I'm saying cut your losses. Cut your losses and move around. And when people say that they don't believe that there's a demon seed and demon spawn, how do you call certain people evil then?
I don't know, Homer. How do we call certain people evil?
You're evil. You need an exorcism. I'm just saying, it's just the reality is there are people who, whatever, religion that you may subscribe to or spirituality that you say, okay, it's good and it's bad, it's heaven and it's hell. How can you believe in a hell and say, like, there's no devil spawn, there's no demon seeds? It doesn't make sense to me to try to argue that point, because when people get up in some of these sanctuaries and churches and say, the devil tried to, who are you talking about? Sometimes they talking about their boss. Sometimes they talking about their so-called best friend. Sometimes they're talking about their children. The devil didn't want to let, okay, so what are you saying? That there's something evil there. You can't have joy without having some pain. You can't have just all sunshine. You got to have some rain. So I don't get where people feel like, no, we're not saying that everybody's evil, and that's the whole thing. I'm giving the balance. Yes, there's some great people, but it's some people that don't want to be saved. You can do everything in your power. You can give them the whatever it is they say that they're missing. I didn't have a father in my life. My mother was on drugs and all of this. You can replace all those things. You can make sure that they have a nice, self-sustainable wage job. They have a home. They have all of this, and some people will still throw all of that away. So
no, I agree with you. I think the worst of the worst people that don't really, they have no humanity, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's who we build prisons for. But I also understand some people that, while I don't agree with them, they still are optimistic when it comes to the worst of the worst people that do the most awful and violent and dastardly things, because hope springs eternal. And sometimes people say, oh, well, don't give up on them. But there's, like you said, a minute ago, you can't invest forever.
Right.
If you got to give them an opportunity, I'm going to be the
best you can do. That's
right. I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But if we are doing that and we do it as a community and you still continue to hurt, to harm, and to offend, then we have to extricate you from our community because you will be a cancer that spreads. Right. But that's not everybody. Right. There are some people that can be helped and can be rehabilitated, and I want that for them, and I want to integrate them back into our society. But for a very small portion of people, there is no rehabilitation for them, and we have to just let them go. They're going to jail forever because we got to take them out of society.
And that's it. Like I say, I tell people, you got to help me to help you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm trying to do my part, you have a part that you have to do. And if you're not willing to do anything, you want me to just handle I can't. And you shouldn't expect anybody to do it all. You got to do some work. I can tell you where all of I don't have the money to get my kids Christmas gifts this year because I got laid off or the company shut down. Well, here's some places that are doing toy giveaways. Now, what do you need to do? You need to get your ass up early enough to take you and your children down there. Don't go, it starts at what time? Oh, it's going to start at 4, or we'll probably come at 6. You already said you ain't got no damn job, so you don't have no reason to not be able to try to get down there at 3 o'clock and make sure you early. I like to be in that number when the toys start being given out. So if you got to do your part. We keep giving all this information, telling you where you can get food when SNAP was caught up in the shutdown and all of that. Well, this organization, this place is doing this place is doing that. But they said, get your ass up and go. You got to do your part. I'm not going to, can you bring it to, hell no.
Yeah, they sure do want everyone to overextend themselves and don't want to put in their own effort. But as far as the worst of the worst people go, I mean the absolute violent offenders, so my humanity to them, because I am still a human being, I recognize them as humans, even though they can't fit into a safe and genteel society. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in the death penalty. So that is one thing that I don't. I know you do, but my humanity for them extends to, well, we don't want to kill you. But it's also mostly because
I'm going to try you on that question.
I don't want
or your thoughts on that.
The death penalty, because sometimes with a racially biased criminal justice system, an innocent person who may have been framed or the evidence was circumstantial or their conviction goes back before we had DNA evidence, I don't want somebody innocent of a crime on death row. And if we have to just incarcerate people for life to make sure we don't murder somebody that's innocent, I mean, they're probably equally as bad. If you're innocent, you're in jail forever. Mm-hmm. That's probably just as bad, or if not worse.
And we're paying for it.
We are. But if you look at the states, and I don't know what the hell it is about these particular states, other than the fact that they are red Republican states. Mm-hmm. The states that have the death penalty have the highest homicide rates. They do, Homer.
I knew you were going to go there.
But I think I'm ready. The death penalty is not a deterrent. If I want to kill somebody,
let me tell you what.
I'm already dead inside anyway. So if you put me on death row, that's not going to say, maybe I should work it out with this person I have a beef with, because if I kill them, I'm going to go on death row. Mm-hmm. And plus, people on death row are going to sit there for 30, 40 years anyway and die in natural damn causes.
And therein lies the dagger.
We got to take a break, though, Homer, because I know you want to go in on that.
Okay, all right.
I also want to talk about Northridge, too, because I have a different idea than the one that we came up with a couple of weeks ago, where I wanted this extravagant and decadent black entertainment district. I have a better idea. It's less sexy, But I think it is a better use of the Northwest side, which some years ago was thriving. You had it all over there. It was a middle-class neighborhood. You had Northridge Mall, and you had all the restaurants up and down Brown Deer Road, and you had car dealerships. All of that is gone. It's essentially a wasteland now. I know what needs to be put on that 58-acre site where Northridge was. So Homer and I are going to talk about that and, hell, anything else you want to discuss, because if you have questions, Homer and I have answers, because that's what we're doing today on the program. And also, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. And vote in our YouTube poll. Again, it's a simple question. I just want to know where you all are at politically. So we got a simple question. It asks you, politically, do you lean A, Republican, B, Independent, or C, Democratic? I'm just trying to see something. So the people that listen and participate in this program, at least via YouTube, where their political affiliation is. So it looks like we have 68 votes so far. And 64% of you have sided with being Democratic leaning. 29% of you are independent. And 7% of you are Republican. Yeah, that tracks. Don't go anywhere. We'll both be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations, where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
Ready to hit the road in your new car? At Brewery Credit Union, we make it easy with affordable payment options on auto loans designed to fit your budget. Whether it's a brand new ride or the perfect used vehicle, we'll help you get behind the wheel faster. With flexible terms, quick approvals, and personalized service you can trust. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Apply online at brewerycu.com or visit us at Brewery Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
welcome back. I'm here. Homer is here. We're chatting, answering questions, and giving our commentary on many, many things. So, Homer, you are a proponent of the death penalty.
Yes.
I am not. I have my reasons as to why I am not, and clearly in the state of Wisconsin, we got rid of the death penalty here in the 1840s or 50s. You know, what's crazy is one person was executed, because I actually did some research on why Wisconsin doesn't have the death penalty. Because I think that our community is probably, majority of us are for it, especially when we see some of the senseless violence and a lot of the worst offenders. It's the same people that are committing most of the mayhem in our city. And I think if you have a violent weekend and we find out who was responsible for it, most people would say, oh, we need to have the death penalty because that would get rid of the problem. So when I did my research in Wisconsin as to why we don't have the death penalty and when we did, whatever, and I found out one person was executed while it was legal here, I was like, oh, they definitely were black. They weren't. They were a white Irish person. So I was shocked that it wasn't an African American that was not the only execution here in Wisconsin. So, Homer, why do you favor the death penalty?
Well, again, let me tell you why I think that some people that have the death penalty in their states and they say it doesn't work and it doesn't deter crime. That's because they let them sit on death row too damn long. I believe that once you are convicted of this heinous crime, I don't think you should just get the death penalty for anything. I think that there are crimes that go to the level of an eye for an eye. And if you are one of those individuals, you get 30 to 60 days on an appeal. After that, gone. Now, when you have that happening here in Wisconsin, and Lil Ray, who is known to be a menace to the city, already has shootings, homicides under their belt. If you give that person the death penalty within 60 days, that's my electrocution sound, they out of here. Trust me that Ray's friends, all the people with the free Ray t-shirts, free man, and all of that kind of stuff, they not going to be so quick to keep trying to stay in that game. That's just like if you sit their ass down for that bare minimum because they had a weapon. You know, there's a 5-year penalty enhancer if you do a crime using a dangerous weapon. They often, as Dame said, they usually plead that part out and be like, okay, well, we'll try to get you on these charges. No, sit their ass down for that 5 years. That's 5 years that we ain't got to worry about that person and whoever he or she may influence in the crime game. That we ain't got to worry about that. You sit some of these teens down that are out here doing these things and saying, I'll be out later tonight, I'll be out tomorrow, this, that, and the other. And guess what? They out tonight and they out tomorrow. No, sit their ass down, let them have to sit and deal with some time for a minute. And then we can see, well, is there a change in the criminal pattern that is going on? Trust me, when in the song My Hood by Jeezy, which mentions our very own legendary Cuckoo Cal, police pull up, everybody clear out. Uh-oh, it's hot. The block is hot. The block is hot. It stops that drug activity if they know that the block is hot. Now, if the block ain't hot, and they can just stay out there all day, every day, that's what the hell they gonna do. They gonna stay out there all day, every day. When there's more police presence, you get what I'm saying? You get a difference in how some of these communities end up reacting to the crime that they would be out there trying to commit. That's why we have to look for people who commit who shoot somebody, that do crime. We have to go look for them. Why don't you stay your ass there? You did it in broad daylight. You did it in front of people. You own every digital camera that's out there. No, because they know. They don't want to have to go sit down. And I'm just saying, if they see that because you committed the crime that raises to the offense of where the death penalty is an option, and you get that death penalty, and you ain't sitting there 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, yeah, man, I think the mindset would change.
All right.
They're like, man, they're going to take you out.
So let's say we.
I'm just saying.
No, you thoroughly explain your point of view.
Yeah, people that go to the Army, they are in the Navy or the Air Force or your armed services. We don't want anybody to have to pass away. But when you sign up, you know that there's a chance you could become a casualty of war.
That's right.
So I say that when we say that, yeah, but there have been some mistakes. But it's people acting like it's just been hundreds of mistakes. It hasn't.
Fair enough.
Some of those people needed to be put down, and that's where I'm at.
We would, let's say that Trump changed because Trump can remake all of the United States of America without even legislation. He can just do it with an executive order pen. And I'm going to use Trump as an example because I think it's very important. He could sign, let's say he had the ability to sign an executive order that said all states have the option to use the death penalty. The federal government still has the death penalty, but they essentially, I don't want to say they got rid of it, but it's used so incredibly rarely in federal convictions that it's almost totally eradicated. But some states do still maintain their death penalty. So if we, for a period of time, said, okay, for the next 5 or 10 years, the death penalty is going to be legal and legitimate in all 50 states, we as black people now would have to be okay with 90% of the people on death row and getting executed would be black. And one of the reasons why I think that needs to be said is that at some point, someone is just going to look at the numbers and say, but 90% of the people who are being executed are black, and that's racist. And then that shoe fits because the United States is a racist country. There are ways in which the system and the criminal justice system in particular can be manipulated to just kill more black people. So that's point number one. Point number two, if you guys go and look from when Joe Biden won the election in November of 2020 until Joe Biden was inaugurated January 20th, 2021. So what is that, a 2-3 month span? Donald Trump executed just about every single federal death row inmate. And there was one guy who was adjudicated mentally ill, but he ended up on death row some kind of way, but he was slated to be executed. The damn governor of Texas, a Republican, called Trump and said, Mr. President, can you please stay this execution? Trump killed him anyway. So that's the kind of nuance that I'm concerned about, that Trump, so now all of a sudden we might have new federal charges because Donald Trump is going to make a lot more stuff illegal, and nor do I trust Trump, like not decriminalizing marijuana, but signing his executive order. It's something going on with that I don't necessarily trust. But the fact that there might be new federal crimes that come to fruition under Trump's auspices, and that will cause an increase of executing more people that Donald Trump and Republicans find undesirable. And at the end of the day, I think we're still going to have crime because we're not addressing the root issues of it.
I get that. Anything that the Orange Man is doing, I think is detrimental, and it will be detrimental, and it will be abused, and people that don't deserve to be sentenced to the death penalty will get sentenced to the death penalty. But here's the thing that I want to say, Sherwin. When people get to talking about, it's going to be used on us, have you done anything that has made you where you should have been given the death penalty, sir? Are you out here committing a lot of crimes?
Homer, we're both bad examples of that.
No.
I have not.
We are great examples.
No, I have not.
Because when we act like it is, then that's just saying that we are all messed up. We all criminals because we're not.
Okay.
So we're not any different from, y'all just upper echelon. You're a damn lie. I live in the inner city.
We live in the same neighborhood, actually, right around the corner from each other.
Absolutely.
You hear the same gunshots I do.
Absolutely. New Year's is going to be traumatizing.
Man. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So how is it that, see, y'all, no, stop it. Stop it. I came up in a foster home. I was at home until the tragic situation that happened between my father shooting my mother. Ended up going into a foster home. A lot of people, foster home, it's going to ruin you, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I have never had to serve time in a juvenile detention facility, never had to go to a boys' home, never had to go to Ethan Allen, never had to go to St. Charles, never had to spend time in a house correction, never had to spend time in jail, never been in prison, all of that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because of choices that I made. You feel what I'm saying? So coming up through and living in from the different sides. I was on the east side, I was on the north side, lived on the west side. So 27th and Locust, when I finally got back home from being in the foster home, heroin addicts, alcoholics, pimps, prostitutes, all of these different things that are supposed to just influence you to where you're going to do bad things, breaking into people's houses and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do any of those things, and it was a choice. Now, was peer pressure there then? Hell yeah. Stop acting like, well, that's just because. No, it ain't no just because. You feel what I'm saying? So I look at it in that perspective to where some people, if you fall into making those kind of choices, I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke weed, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do those things. Did people try to get me to do those things? Yes, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. If somebody wanted to go do a criminal act, like, hey, I'm out. I'm going to the house. I'm going home.
Now I better understand your zero tolerance for foolish behavior because you had all of the options for you to be a criminal and be an alcoholic or drug addict were presented, and you still rose above it. But Homer, let me say this:
go ahead.
You have a sense of morality that some people never develop, or they only get it after serving 20 or 30 years in prison. Like I had a brother call in yesterday, said, we're talking about, if you make some mistakes and go to jail, whatever, you can turn your life around and be successful. This brother was like, I murdered 2 people, did 22 years in prison, but now I'm a model citizen. And we would probably say, oh, well, because you went to jail and got rehabilitated, now you're a model citizen. But sometimes it takes the criminal justice system and being incarcerated to get the sense of morality that it seems like you were born with. Everybody ain't got that same sense of morality. Let's talk to Red to see if he has a sense of morality. Red, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Yeah, I hear what Humble Blow is saying, bro. Let me tell you something. I was like I went to prison, but you know what? Let me tell you something. Just like he said, I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I was doing. I never hurt nobody, right? Not physically. But I did crime. I sold dope. I went to work. I punched the clock. But, you get tired of stuff in the community. Say, okay, no, we ain't got no job for you. No, we not going to mix with you. Okay, they say, I'm going to deny you jobs all year long. Then I'm going to tell you Merry Christmas, right? And then come beg me, black man. So I'm going to give you a ham and a turkey every Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, you know what I'm trying to say, man? I ain't using no excuse. Right, I went out there and did what I wanted to do. My parents raised me right. I had 4 parents. But let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something about life. When them little jokers come out there, they say, what am I going to do today? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and rob and hurt somebody. If I kill them, mess up, okay, if you make that decision, you should get the electric chair and gas chambers like they have in Chicago and in Florida. And, when they had that electric chair out, hey, man, let me tell you something. That'll make you think, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just sit up and say, I'm going to make a kid parentless. I'm going to make a woman. The kids don't even know who their parents are. So the law has got to be as strong as the crime. Okay, y'all?
All right.
I love y'all.
Thank you, Red. Yep. Appreciate your call and your perspective. Mile the Elephant chimes in on YouTube and asks, do you think that things would be different if the laws were equitable? Oh, look, we should invite him in here. You think we get in trouble?
Hey, you've been here 5 years, sir.
I got to take a break. But hold on before we take a break. Hang on a second. Don't you go nowhere. Mile wants to know via YouTube, do you think that things would be different if laws were equitable? I think for the most part, laws are equitable. It's how they are applied. If laws, as you were speaking, if I'm understanding you correctly, Mile, if the enforcement of law was equitable, more rich people would have their asses in prison. That would be the only
real
difference,
talk.
instead of just being poor people. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
You hit the library. Shh, hard. And keep your eyes on the prize. Also, one day you can earn that bachelor's. Finishing what you start where you want, that's worth working for. And here is how you get there. Here at MATC, where smart programs prep you for next-level challenges. Earning your bachelor's can start right away. And graduation is just the beginning. Here's to an education that takes you farther. Here's how you get there. Here at matc.edu/get there.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's Rhea Riley, and I'm here with Ashley Lucas from Associated Bank, and this is Making Your Money Work. So Associated Bank is launching a new program. Tell us more about it.
I'm really excited that our new Community Uplift Loan Program recently launched in early September. This is for business owners with annual sales under $1 million. So really our local businesses, our entrepreneurs, we provide lines of credit and business loans from $2,500 all the way to $50,000 with more flexible credit criteria. Anyone within our footprint can apply if they're looking for either a term loan or line of credit.
So anyone, so there's no other qualifications?
There are no other qualifications as long as our industry qualifies for our product.
Wow. Okay, and then as a business owner, how can I apply?
Well, you have to be in business at least a year. And what we use to make that decision is your 6 most recent bank statements. So we're not going to be asking for full financials. And the complete process from beginning to end takes about 5 business days. Everything is done directly online. Typically, we have a response from our underwriters within 24 hours.
And do I need to go to the bank for this, or can I apply online?
Well, you can go to the bank if you'd like, but you can actually go directly on our website, associatedbank.com, and apply for our Community Uplift Loan Program. Or you can apply directly over the phone with our virtual relationship hotline team. They're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1-800-270-7725.
This has been Making Your Money Work, brought to you by Associated Bank.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Homer Blow is in the studio with us. I mean, Homer, you might as well. I don't want to take up too much of your day, but I'm rather enjoing having you in the studio.
Well, it's all good. I mean, I got time. I got time.
Oh, you got time today, cuz.
Yeah. I have to. The next thing that I have to do is this evening.
Okay.
I'll be at Impact, Second City TV. They have Jack Frost. It's going to be at the Vogel Hall this evening, 7 p.m. And, I go to all the
That's at the
things.
Marcus Performing Arts Center.
Yep.
Oh, cool, homie.
So I'll be doing that this evening, 7 p.m. But other than that, I'm good.
I do want to talk about Northridge, and we have an opportunity, and I'm glad that public commentary and public input is being prioritized of what we do with that land. So the city of Milwaukee...
Before you finish going into that,
yeah.
Shout out to the people on the YouTube page, Truth Nation, that understood my philosophy on it. There's quite a few people that definitely understood my philosophy on my points that I was making.
Here's the thing about our community. We are far more conservative when it comes to criminal justice than most people give African Americans credit for. I think we hate crime and homicide more than the white folks that are afraid of us, right? Because we know that if one fool over here does something stupid, we all as black folks wear that scar. Mm-hmm. When we go and travel and we go somewhere else, we go out to the suburbs, we are looked at like the worst offender in our community. So I think that we do have a no-nonsense stance on crime and punishment, et cetera. But I happen to see the nuances of it. And I would rather, with the amount of money that we spend, if I look at like the tangibles, the amount of money that we spend to lock people up and to incarcerate people is not necessarily making us safer. I think that money is better invested in black success, but this is where racism comes in. If white people don't like black people, and let's please admit that some white folks don't like us, they're never going to invest in our success. They would rather invest in our incarceration. Mm-hmm. Because with our incarceration, and you get a felony, and I know that some of y'all brothers and sisters have gotten felonies and you've become successful and you've got your own businesses, but for many people that have a felony on their record, they are counted out of a lot of endeavors and jobs and careers, et cetera. And I think that also gives white supremacy a leg up, because if you check yes to a felony, then I can throw your job application away legally.
And this is what makes the Orange Man so atrocious. You can get the highest office in the country with 34 Fs on your report card, but you can't apply for an apartment or get a job if you have to check that F box.
That's right.
It should be taken off. I spoke on it yesterday. I've spoken on it before. The felony question should be taken off of any application, period. Because if you can become the president of the United States with 34 Fs, come on, man. Take it off of all of those applications. Shouldn't even be able to ask that question no more. Period.
And that was just in New York. Then there was the rape conviction. Then there was the voter fraud in Georgia. Dude literally got caught on the phone saying, "Can you find me 11,780 votes?" You do not get more criminal than that. Putting pressure on another state elected official to, quote, manufacture and create voter fraud so that you win the state of Georgia. And he still got reelected. Part of the reason why I think the founding fathers did not say, oh, felons, because they had felons back then. One of the reasons why I don't think they put it in the Constitution, because they're like, one day slavery, might end. One day women might be, able to vote. But we don't need to explicitly create something where a felon can't get elected president, because Americans will never be that dumb. They're like, they'll be dumb enough to free the slaves. Americans will be dumb enough to let women vote in 1920, but they'll never be dumb enough to elect a felon, right? And here we are. So if you don't enshrine it into law because it's so ridiculous and it's so far-fetched, and you'll think, oh, Americans would never stoop to that level. We'll stoop to that level. So if you don't make something like that prohibited, then there's no telling what Americans might actually do. So, all right, Northridge. Do you remember the heyday, Homer, back in the day?
Yes, absolutely. Northridge theaters, just Northridge as a whole, just being able to enjoy Northridge. Absolutely. It was thriving. Like, it was its own community. Northridge was its own community.
It also represented, in a really weird way, the segregation of Milwaukee, because that was our mall. We wasn't really going out to Mayfair like that.
That's right.
And we certainly didn't go to Southridge.
That's right.
I probably can count on maybe two hands, but I'm 50 years old, how many times I've ever been to Southridge, like actually in the mall. Right. If I was there, it's for something really, really specific.
I agree.
For a very short period of time. Even to this day, the South Side kind of creeps me out a little bit. I don't feel comfortable over there. But Northridge that was our place. That was our space where we went. But I think also, if you look at the trajectory of our community.
We had Capitol Court and we had Northridge.
Capitol Court, of course. But the trajectory of our community over the last 30 or 40 years, we've looked at families have been broken up, crime has gone basically rampant. I am not shocked that mall that catered to us for the most part closed. And the fact that Jesse Anderson murdered his wife but blamed somebody black, even though that was a total lie, it was believable.
Yep.
And like, oh, Northridge is being Northridge. We got to close the thing down. So now we have an opportunity in a whole new generation and basically in a new century, because Northridge was in its heyday in the 20th century. We have an opportunity to create something, build something in that 58 acres of available space. I said an entertainment district where if you want to have an experience of black culture, it could be in this 58-acre parcel. We can have our own bars, clubs, and restaurants. It could be essentially self-contained, but also very intentional. If you want to experience our culture, you would have this newly developed area that would be the Black Entertainment District, because some of us don't want to go to Water Street or go to Milwaukee Street or even go to Brady Street. We might want to go to a place where we are the patrons and the entrepreneurs, and our experience there can be authentic. I have revised my perspective on that. I think it would be just a microcosm of all the crap that's going on downtown, but just contained on the Northwest side.
I was just going to say, listen, and this is a sad, it's sad when I have to talk about this, because I've talked about it before. You have a Midtown that has a shuttered Walmart, a shuttered Lowe's, which is now like Sellers or whatever the case may be. So big vacant, nothing on that side, I think, but like Foot Locker maybe. And you had people from our community that went, and there were over 300 to 400 shots fired in a vacant parking lot. And this is with nothing there.
Yep.
On Brown Deer Road, across from where this new Northridge life would be built, you had teens at a party in a building that wasn't designated for that. It was an event space, but even then the owner said no, they shouldn't have been doing no party there. But you had 2 or 3 people that got shot. Somebody died. A young lady, 19, I believe, that was a nurse, or you know what I mean? Like, so this is without having an entertainment complex. I'm not saying we don't deserve it.
Right.
I'm just saying the same reservations that you have about will it just become a North Side Water Street haven or Brady Street for that matter.
The other thing to consider is
crazy.
Let's say the investment.
Sad.
And we'd have to build shops and stores and put infrastructure out there. And some of the infrastructure from Northridge is still there, but a lot of construction and reconstruction and rebuilding of things would have to take place. So let's say to get the 58 acres ready to be developed and subdivided might take $20 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would have to take whatever gets built there. Let's assume it's some restaurants, lounges, bars, nightclubs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A disproportionate amount of the overall money it would take to develop that would have to be dedicated to security. So if it's a total like $75 million development, hear me out, Homer, where there's bars, restaurants, clubs, hell, a black-owned pet store, right? You name it, it's all out there. We would have to take 20% of the overall cost to develop it all for private security and Milwaukee police overtime, where if you did a comparison in like New Berlin, or if you did something similar in Franklin or in Oak Creek, you would need 0.25% dedicated to security. We would need double-digit percentages. So here's what I think. We move away from the whole entertainment thing. But one of the reasons why it made sense at the time was like, we could self-contain it. So everybody coming in gets searched and gets metal detected. That's too much damn trouble. Yeah. And it'd be too expensive.
Everything.
Way too much money and just too much trouble. We need a hospital. If you live on the northwest side of the city of Milwaukee, which is probably 60+% African American, if not more than that, and you get hurt or if you have a medical emergency, where's your closest hospital? Right? Not close by, and don't go to Menominee Falls because you might end up dying because of the staff out there don't like your black ass, and if you die by getting shot somewhere on the northwest side. But what hospitals do is they'll bring development because hospitals bring doctors, nurses, staff, CNAs, janitorial staff, and then the services that will be used by not just the hospital staff, the restaurant that you can have, all the other amenities, plus people coming to the hospital to visit people, et cetera, et cetera. That is economic development. And there's no healthcare facility out there.
Right.
And if I look at why we as black folks have one of the lowest life expectancies, we have food deserts, absolutely, but we also have a lack of health care. A huge Ascension, Aurora complex out there on that area would improve lives. It would give us better access to health care, and it would be economic development. Because if you're a damn doctor on staff, you may want to buy a house in the surrounding area. Now, it would gentrify the hell out of the area, but also would bring a tremendous amount of tax base. So I'm going to take a break, come back.
Yeah, that's dope.
Thank you, Homer. I think it's a great idea. Now, here's the thing. It's never going to happen, but I think it would be a great idea. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and Homer Blow will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo! You just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes!
There you go.
Yes.
That just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
Y'all holler back at y'all.
I got money now.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
It's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources. They have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
Are you ready for open enrollment? Now through January 15th, you can explore affordable health insurance options if you don't already have coverage through your job, Medicare, or Medicaid. The Community Health Access Program, CHAP, helps residents find affordable plans and guides you through the enrollment process, connecting you with resources to support your family. CHAP is a program of the City of Milwaukee Health Department. Learn more at milwaukee.gov/CHAP. That is milwaukee.gov/CHAP or calling 414-286-8620. If better sleep has been hard to come by, you're not alone, and the right mattress can make all the difference. That's why Helix Sleep and Steinhoffels have teamed up to bring their award-winning mattresses to Steinhoffels. Now you can try Helix in person, something you can't just do anywhere. Right now, Steinhoffels is offering 20% off all Helix mattress orders just for our Truth Nation listeners. Head to steinhoffels.com to learn more today. Helix Sleep at Steinhoffels. Better sleep starts now.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If we were to build a healthcare facility, which I know that we need because we want people to have access to healthcare. Let's think about this for a second. If you live on 96 and Brown Deer Road, and you have immediate emergency needs for healthcare, and maybe you have diabetes or you have, I don't know, heart disease, whatever, how far do you have to go? And transportation options might be limited too, because I don't know how many buses still run to the what I call the nether regions of parts of the city.
Even
of Milwaukee.
dialysis.
Absolutely. Even though those are popping up all over the place. Yeah. Where do you go to get healthcare? And I'm not comfortable with the city of Milwaukee having to send its residents to Waukesha County for health care. Because if you live on the northwest side, I'd imagine your closest facility is probably somewhere in Menominee Falls. Mm-hmm. I think that we need a healthcare facility to take care of our people, especially when there's like critical emergencies where the commute in the ambulance has got to be less than 10 minutes. Otherwise, people are not going to survive. Mm-hmm. But the economic development that can come with having a full hospital in that area, because think about the amount of money that radiologists make and nephrologists make and other specialists. These are all six-figure, and surgeons and all sorts of doctors. So you're bringing income to the area. Naturally, what's going to happen after that is home development. And when people are buying houses and building new houses out there, because there's still plenty of available land to build new construction out there, because the whole 58 acres is not going to be the entire facility. Mm-hmm. You're bringing so much more tax base to where we will now have more money to invest in other parts of the city of Milwaukee. Because right now, all Milwaukee is doing to get its money is we're building up downtown. And we're overtaxing and raising the property taxes on bars and restaurants and dwellings and condos that are downtown, because we don't really have any other developable land in the city of Milwaukee where we can get higher tax revenue. The northwest side, I think, would be perfect for that. But then again, if you don't like black people, you don't want us to have a hospital because we might live. So when I talk about racism, I talk about racism from the perspective of it stops common sense development, because some common sense development in a majority minority city might make black people like have an advantage and give us a leg up. And if you're a true racist, you never want that to happen. But I maintain that I think we need a healthcare facility out there that could bring a tremendous amount of economic development. Plus, our good friend Craig Berry would benefit from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they could go to Mr. B's and get drunk and then go right to the hospital
but they also
when they
have
get
food.
too drunk.
But they also have food.
They have really good food, too.
Seafood, lobster tails, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so, yeah.
All right, Homer, we agree on that. We don't agree on the death penalty.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they got happy hour this evening. So, you know.
He sure does.
Yeah, cigarette break.
Every Friday. And I'm sure they probably have drink and food specials.
Absolutely,
if you want to go
do.
see Cigarette Break at Mr. B's, one of my favorite establishments and the home of not one but two Beyond the Mic events, Beyond the Mic with Sherwin Hughes.
When does that ever return, bro?
Let's talk to Millicent. To answer your question, Homer.
I love it. Okay.
Millicent, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I am doing well. I don't think a hospital would work out there because right now hospitals are going to start closing. The insurance, this whole thing is messed up. So a hospital would not work there. But what would work there is Milwaukee Public Schools campus. So every elementary school in Milwaukee, except for the ones that are in newer buildings now, would be on that land. And we would have it set up kind of like a college campus. Each building, each school would be its own entity, but they would all be there. This would cause more traffic out there, more workers and everything, because everyone, even from the south side, would have to come for their kids to go to school out there. So that would generate a lot more profitability out there, and it would get the kids away from the lead paint.
How are we going to transport young people? This is just throwing out hypotheticals.
We're already doing it. We're already doing yellow buses already.
We have the
kids
lowest
from the north side going to the south side.
Hey, listen, we got 30 MPS schools right now that are completely empty, and probably another 40 or 50 that are at 30% enrollment. So what do we do with all those buildings? And remember, we're spending about between $1 and $3 million every single year to maintain MPS buildings that are completely empty because we still have the utilities on. We still got to plow the snow, even though there's nobody in the schools. Building a new campus is going to add transportation costs. And we have the lowest enrollment in MPS we've ever had in the city's history. So we don't even have enough kids to put out there unless you close more schools. But unfortunately, I got to take a break. Tell you what, Millicent, if you want to call back after we take this brief intermission, you can do so. But right now, we got to take a pause for the cause. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and my co-host today, the legendary Homer Blow. We'll both be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Come in with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Since 1976, Community Advocates has helped Milwaukee residents meet their basic needs, enabling them to live with dignity and hope. Today, Community Advocates offer 40 specialized programs that addresses rental housing challenges, energy assistance, domestic violence, substance misuse, and more. Their commitment is to ensure individuals and families have access to essential resources and opportunities for a better quality of life. If you need help, go to communityadvocates.net. That's communityadvocates.net.
The holidays can stir up a lot. Stress, loneliness, even pressure to drink or use. If you're feeling anxious, depressed, or just finding it harder to cope, you don't have to wait for things to get worse. Hazelden Betty Ford offers treatment and counseling that fits your life and your needs. Call 1-855-489-2383 or visit hazeldenbettyford.org. Change starts when you do, and you're closer to feeling better than you think. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
where strong voices meet strong opinions.
The district had as a whole was 59.5. That was awful. It was bad. But it is not just the MPS story. It is a story for the city of Milwaukee when you talk about some of these schools. So when we talk about the state of education, we just can't always talk about MPS. We got to talk about Milwaukee as a whole and why there are so many failing schools in Milwaukee. But we bash MPS, understand it is beyond MPS. MPS just has to educate your kids. But I love the fact that we have a new superintendent that is acknowledging that these scores are not good enough. I love the level of accountability because Celia said in response to the results, she said we need to grow more and faster to truly meet and exceed the expectations that our families and community have for us and the expectations we have for each other as educators. Our new literacy plan is the first step towards a stronger growth. And I love it.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from 12 to 1, streaming live on YouTube and on 1017 The Truth. You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Where does this go? Your touch is velvet, your voice a key, unlocking every piece of me. Sugar, honey, iced tea.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. A little sugar honey iced tea. Oh, look who's on the line. Oh, Mr. Sugar Honey Iced Tea himself. Hello, Al. Good morning.
Hello to you and your staff and these great listeners. First thing I want to say is when it comes to racists are always going to be upset with black men and black women because they know when it comes to black men, they're the undescribable feeling that has no real definition. And everything we do, we always go deep. And then the other thing, a lot of these housewives who voted for Donald Trump, y'all don't like black women because you know when black women come around, they always tell your husband, make sure my seat is clean wherever I sit. So y'all have this inner hatred for black women because a lot of y'all just lay there and just do nothing and make all these moans and ain't even move the muscles. But my question to you, why do you feel now today there's a lot of DL women who believe in dyking and boardagging, who's not really comfortable with themselves, and they kind of feel like they're in unnecessary relationships because, you know, only a woman knows how to make another woman feel good. And some of these women who are DL, they might not be getting that spot hit or rocked. Why do you feel that we have so many DL women right now who like to dyke and boardag? And I hang up and listen.
Oh, thank you.
Priceless,
Thanks, Al. All right.
You are priceless.
All right.
Okay. You are priceless. That is the common thing that when talking to women, in my opinion, with the lifestyle choices that they have made, they say, you know, a woman know how a woman wants to feel. You know what he said.
But that may be true, but there's some women that just are not attracted to other women because
Right,
if you
absolutely.
say that, you probably could say the same thing about a man. A man would really know how to please another man, right? But we don't ever use that reference. We always make it about women. But I thought that didn't even know that there were down low women because a woman that's bisexual is pretty much normalized.
Well, you know, I would have to interject and say where you said that it could be said about a man. No, because again, the woman's body is different. It is what it is. The erogenous zones on a woman's body, yeah, it's just different.
I mean, they're all in the same place, though. So if you have the general map.
No, there's some women that may like the sensation of being, you know, her upper body.
Okay.
And there's some women be like, no, that's a turnoff for me. So you get what I'm saying? So a woman's body is more unpredictable. And for some women, they'd be like, yeah, well, this is why I don't like that. This is why I don't, and sometimes we may stay in spots thinking that we are being the most best person in the world at doing what we're doing. And really, it's like, no, move around. And sometimes we don't know when they want the Luther Vandross. They tell us, be like, keep it right there, keep it right there. And we've done moved around and lost the whole feeling. And before you know it, it's like, okay, it's done. I'm out of here.
We would agree that different women like different things. You just basically said that.
That's right.
So because every woman is different and unique in their pleasure requirements, there's
we're
no
external. We're not, they're internal.
But there's no guarantee that a woman will know the complexities of that woman because she is unique to the woman that's pleasing her.
Yeah,
so,
Dr. Rose shows you some of the things with a woman. Like there are some women who have rositis.
What's that? Oh, from
the rose.
The Toei.
Yes.
Yeah, but that women
because it's a terminator, and any man that tries to compete with that, you're fooling yourself.
Most women would rather have the real thing than a contraption. If you are
fighting against that contraption, you're losing.
All you have to do is have.
She'll be asleep within 2 minutes.
Well, actually, that's might be a good thing. But if you communicate,
yeah, all right.
No, because then if she's sleeping, then she's not talking. Because if you communicate, if you're very communicative with your partner, you can work through and figure out what they like and what they don't like. Mm-hmm. Problem with men is, and there's many, when a woman says she is about to arrive at her destination.
That's right.
We start
to keep it right there. Keep it right there.
Right. We start to act like a jackrabbit. Right. She's like, no.
Keep it right there.
Please,
keep it right there.
I'm almost at the train station.
Yeah.
Keep going, and then we hear that. We're like, oh yeah.
You're about to hit the casino jackpot with Potawatomi. I'm just saying.
Homer, do you remember Alexis K. Tyler?
Yes.
I have recently rediscovered her videos, and they are funnier now than they were. You used to interview her.
She had a segment on my blowradio.com station. Every week.
God, I wish I could.
For the men's panel, we would have her call in.
I wish that I could play some of her. She's like the Black Dr. Ruth.
Yes.
But she's so explicit with it
Chakras.
that I only put her, when I share her content, I only put it on my Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat, by the way, if you so dare. Mm-hmm. But she is who I think everybody needs to listen to. But right now we're going to listen to Janie. Janie, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you? Janie? Is you there, Janie? Going once. I don't even hear you.
I am here.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Janie.
Hi, who's this? Is it Sherwin?
Who was you trying to call? Who are you? What did you dial? Are you looking for Pizza Hut? What are you looking for? What? Janie! Now I'm intrigued.
I'm looking for the Truth Radio.
Yes, this is Sherwin and Homer Blow. Hi. You're on the air.
Hello, thank you. So my idea in regards to the Northridge building was to build a youth sports complex.
Say more about that.
So a place where you can have basketball, soccer, AAU tournaments, so that families don't have to continue to drive out to Waukesha or Kenosha or God knows where, but really spend the dollars in the community to keep the kids active. They're already paying a whole bunch of money in AAU and doing all these other activities. So why not bring those sports games there, stop paying Brown Deer or, like I said, Waukesha, but really spend the dollars locally to invest in the community.
Fair enough. Okay. Thank you, Janie.
Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
Right.
Have a good day.
Okay. That seemed like a lot of trouble to extract that kind of response from her. But you know what? Let me stand corrected. As I'm going through the 24-page PowerPoint document that the city of Milwaukee put together, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post the document in the Hughes Views Facebook group. As some of you know, the Hughes Views Facebook group is a Facebook group that corresponds to the show. They actually say a healthcare, wellness, and life sciences campus. A potential anchor could be a hospital, a college, healthcare job training, medical research and development facility, medical technology company, and M7 key industry. And then supporting uses would be housing, retail, restaurants, a health clinic, a medical office, recreational facility. So let me give the city of Milwaukee credit. They've got renderings and drawings of what a potential hospital or healthcare facility could look like. So they do have that included in the potential uses for the 58 acres that have been cleared out where Northridge used to be. But also, because I am a user of artificial intelligence, put a data center out there before y'all say, no, Sherwin, we can't have a data center. You know how many photographs y'all got that you store in the cloud? You got photographs of cheeseburgers that you ate 3 years ago. Where do you think all that stuff is stored? We're going to need data centers. Now, they just rejected one. The white folks rejected one in Port Washington. White folks rejected another one out in Racine because that farmland ain't doing nothing. But if they don't want to put a data center out there, bring it here because we need them. And that's economic development, too. Now, it's not nearly as many jobs, but they are coming. Data centers are going to have to get built somewhere. And why not put a technology hub like that out on the Northwest side? Because maybe, just maybe, it could inspire people to maybe want to get more involved in working in information technology. Let's talk to Marlon. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Doing all right, man. What's on your mind?
Good. So, my thought process for the area, kind of lines what Janie just said. In the south side of Chicago, they just built it's a community center, but they have a world-class indoor track there, which brings a lot of money to that area because now they're bringing USA track and field events there, and they hold events there year-round. It has like basketball courts and stuff in it as well. We need something like that. It's so nice to the point where the Wisconsin Badgers track team does not do any home events anymore. They go down to Gately in south side of Chicago and have their meets there. We need that here because we used to be a hotbed for track and field and athletics here in Wisconsin. But as all these different community centers and stuff fall away, there's no place for kids to continue to do their thing or continue to practice or even just bring in for track. And track is a huge sport, believe it or not. You would get people all the way from the Green Bay area all the way down, probably from Chicago on up. You have these AAU teams that kind of run almost year-round, so you could do that as well. It's unbelievable the amount of people who go down to Gately from here in Milwaukee because that's the best facility in the area, and we can have that right here and have our own world class, and then we could bring in all these different meets and have people, because then that spawns the economic development over there. You need people to run certain things. You need people to run the community center, so that will create jobs. So it's a lot of different things you could do there, but that is my thought process.
All right. Thank you, Marlon. Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Before too many people run away with the idea of some kind of athletic or sports complex, no one is spending that kind of money on the youth, number one. Number two, kids don't play team sports no more. This is not the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and it's not a situation where if you build it, they will come. Milwaukee Public Schools, which educates the vast majority of our children, there's no coaches anymore. These kids ain't playing baseball no more. They're not playing soccer anymore. You may have a couple of stellar track athletes, but if they are that good, they're going to go somewhere regionally. If we built that, it would be for stellar athletes where you have highly invested in athletic programs like in Waukesha, like in Menominee Falls, like in Racine and Kenosha, et cetera. It would not be for our kids. So we would be building that athletic facility for kids who have sports programs that are heavily invested in. Do any of y'all even know the record of any MPS football team when the football season just ended? Of course you don't, because kids don't play sports like that anymore. And I don't want something that will be attracting kids from other places because that won't benefit us.
PWD Computers sent me a text, said a STEM facility with a data center.
There you go. See there? He's an African-American man who does the information technologies. So the city of Milwaukee has and is advancing idea. Oh, they have it here too. Sports Recreation Entertainment Hub, indoor-outdoor youth sports complex. So I think this is reflective of what people have already said in the previous meetings and discussions about what to do with Northridge. An indoor-outdoor youth sports complex, entertainment complex, or an amusement park. Bunch of N-words on a roller coaster. A film production studio. And then they have potential supporting uses, housing, retail, restaurants, a hotel, medical office, or a recreation facility. Then there's advanced manufacturing and an innovation campus is the third idea. College, job training and employment center, industrial research and development facility, advanced manufacturing facility, industrial AI/tech company, shout out to PWD, energy, power, and controls company. And then other supporting uses would be office and business services, light manufacturing, warehouse and distribution, and a recreation facility. So the problem with that area is, so there's no access to water, and water is huge when it comes to recreation, but it's also landlocked. Where's the closest freeway? So it's hard to, if you have either commuters or if you manufacture something there, there's no quick access to getting on the freeway to transport things that could be built in that area. So it needs to be, I think, a little more self-contained. So there you go, guys. Take a break, come back, talk to Homer Blow, read some YouTube comments. And you know what I need to do? I rarely check our talk to text line. I should check that more often because that's where you find some very insightful commentary. So we'll see what you all are saying on this. You have questions. Homer and I have answers. Friday edition of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits at the Fiserv Forum.
Jump pass to the corner right. Elam, 10 on the shot clock. Back out for Zaya. Logo 3 for Zay is pure. It's pure. It's a 7-point lead. 65-58. I didn't think he was going to shoot that thing. I'm glad he did.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 3:30 on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 4 p.m.
Your benefits, competitive. And you've built a culture so healthy, it's practically kombucha. Also, you can recruit the best. Building the strong workforce your company needs? That's worth working for. And here is how you get there. Here at MATC, where skills get built, best practices get hands-on practice, and industry-led programs equip candidates for their first day. Going up. By graduation day. Here's to turning real up-and-comers into your next hires. Here's how you get there. Here at MATC.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Black Business Give Back today at 3:57 p.m. Kyle Wallace will be joined by Felicia, owner of Gimme Cake. We will discuss what inspired her to start a Southern-style cake made from scratch business and why she offers commercial kitchen space for other business owners to use. So again, that is the Black Business Give Back Spotlight with Gimme Cake. Today at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I like cake, Homer. All sorts of cake. What's your favorite kind of cake, Homer Blow?
Caramel cake.
You a caramel cake person?
Yes, sir.
I love a caramel cake. I like a good pound cake too now. You put a little frosting on a pound cake, but also like carrot cake too. But what about German chocolate? How do we not all universally love German chocolate? How come I've never had a German chocolate cake from an actual German white person? Every German chocolate cake I've ever had has been from a black person, and we're not German.
Shout out to Kimberly Sweets at Signature Sweets. Like, her caramel cakes are amazing.
Where can I get them?
At Signature Sweets. She has a huge contract with the Bucks and Pfizer Forum.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. So, and she's won a lot of the TV baking shows and from the Halloween shows to all of that. She's Food Network, got her jacket and all of that, man. She is outstanding. She is amazing. Kimberly Sweets. She now has a culinary kitchen where she's teaching people from children to adults down at the building on 12th. It's on 12th and right off 12th and North Avenue. Used to be like a YMCA. Or
I used to work at that one.
Yeah, so it's 5-star resource center. And she has a kitchen in there now. And yeah, she's going to be training people in the whole nine. So shout out to Kimberly Sweets at Signature Sweets.
There are so many people, I'm not even going to say in our community, just in our city, that are doing wonderful things and are even getting national recognition for what they're doing, but get very little love here in their own city.
Crazy, ain't it?
Man, Milwaukee will raise people, create people that are doing dynamic things to where the world is recognizing them, but people that live off of Brown Street don't. So it's something about us. You know what? We have a lot of text messages that came in at 833-212-1017. Let me go back and read some of these. This one came in at 9:18 this morning, and it said, Homer, you're being humble. You started spinning in high school during closed lunch hours at Washington High School.
Yep.
Go Pergolders. You left that part out, Homer.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about, I think, the radio aspect of it. So, but yeah, no, I was DJing Washington High School. And the lunchroom, man, it went down. It went down.
Now, there's somebody right here that is speaking specifically in City of Milwaukee code that I am unfamiliar with because I grew up in Brown Deer. Here's what they said, Homer. They said, Center and Hubbard, warning days, natatorium, baby. East Side, even though I'm a burger boy, all allies, though, peace. What the hell? What?
They're talking about the things that were in that neighborhood, man, like the warning, the Mike
warning
McGee
is a league.
Senior, yeah, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, the basketball league, man.
Natatorium with a swimming pool.
Absolutely. All that right there.
Homer, I didn't know what a natatorium was until I was at WNOV and somebody brought up the Nat. And people were talking, we used to have a Nat. I had never heard of it before. I did not know that we had these large public indoor swimming facilities. Now they have all closed, and it's interesting that the closing of the natatoriums did correspond with more African Americans moving to Milwaukee from the South. Yeah, what's a big bottle of Jack Daniels?
This is a cake. This is a cake that Kimberly Sweets at Signature Sweets made.
Nuh-uh. How she make a cake look like a bottle of Jack Daniels?
She's that cold. She was on the Harry Potter baking show. Man, come on, Bear.
That is this thing that people do. They make cakes that look like real. Like I see one that look like a shoe, but it looks like a real shoe, and then they cut into it, and it's actually a cake.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I say talk about awesome, yeah, she is that woman. She is that woman. And yeah,
Stacey
She makes
Evans.
I could. You know what? You say you like a good pound cake. I'll have her make you a pound cake. Do you want frosting on it, or you want it just a pound cake?
However she makes and recommends her pound cake, that's how I want the pound cake.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And she also done this, man, and people really thought that when she was showing it, her creating it for the visitor information for Visit Milwaukee, she done the bronze Fonz statue for their event that
That's
they
not
had
a
here.
cake.
That's a cake.
Ricky, can you put to YouTube? Can you hold that up to the camera so people can see that?
Which way? Here?
This one right there.
Okay, all right.
Focus on that. I want people to go on YouTube to be able to see that she made a cake look like the Fonzie. I would eat the Fonzie's
I don't know
face.
which way I need to hold it.
Here, right? Is that
Okay,
Ricky should
so
have
do
it.
aim it at mine.
Let's talk to Miss Nikki. Miss Nikki, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Sherwin. Thank you so much for taking my call. And hello, Homer Blow.
Hey.
I had to take this opportunity to ask this question because I often call into Homer's show in the morning, and I always call into your show, Sherwin. I want to go back to the conversation that you both were having in regards to the death penalty and then getting to the root cause of a reason why a person may commit a crime. And I'm thinking about the juvenile justice or juvenile detention facility that is being proposed, and if it's still being proposed, I don't know if it's still a thing.
Yep.
How could we, as a community, be very vocal or instrumental into ensuring that that facility provides the services that are going to be necessary for those kids once they're in there and they return back to the community, that they become more of assets versus liabilities? Because I kind of agree with the both of you when you're speaking about like the consequences for crime, and I do think they need to be tougher. They really need to match the crime, and I think that would deter some of our folks from doing so. But I'm speaking primarily from the youth perspective because that's where my passion lies, is with the kids and keeping them from, being incarcerated. But I'm wondering, like, how could we be instrumental if this is going to become a thing, right, to ensure that they are providing the services that are going to get to the root cause of some of the issues that we have in the community. For one, the number one being like the lack of education, right? Because we know that a lot of, we know what's happening with MPS. I don't need to even belabor that issue, and how our kids are not being properly educated, but at the same time, addressing the issue with mental health. I heard you mention earlier, too, about Bailey not being from Milwaukee. She's a lot kinder and calmer. And that could be because she hasn't been drinking the dirty water like we have for so long because our water is filled with lead. But kind of getting back to like how can we be vocal and instrumental in ensuring that when this facility does happen and they start to provide programming that is really addressing some of the issues that our youth are having, so they can be a asset to the community and not always looked upon as being a liability.
Way too late, Nikki. So that process to even get the approvals and the state legislation to allocate the funding for that facility probably goes back 7 or 8 years. The only thing that's going to be different is the fact that they built that facility in Milwaukee, where at Copper Lake and then the other facility whose name I can't think of, one was for boys, one was for girls. The problem was it was built so far away that families would have a hard time going out and visiting their children when they were confined, and that slowed the rehabilitation process. But whatever the State Department of Corrections already offers as far as programming goes is what is going to be at that facility. And here's the thing, it's only a 32-bed facility. So even if they offer a plethora of programs, it's only going to be age appropriate for the handful of kids that are out there, whenever the facility gets built. But they already tore down the DMV. They've already started construction. So it's all public. So you could probably go and look up and research what programs they're going to have there, what specialists they're going to have there, what kind of psychiatric counseling they're going to have out there. But it's not going to be different from what is already offered by other facilities that exist around the state. So we appreciate your call, though.
All right, thank you. And lastly, can I mention one thing else?
Of course.
Sherwin?
Yes.
If Homer, when you get this cake made for Sherwin, it'd be great to have Sherwin's face made for the cake. And Sherwin, you should bring it too if you're going to still have the happy hour to kind of commemorate the 5 years of being, on the air. If you can bring it to that happy hour so we all can taste it and potentially order from her, that would be great.
Eat my face. Y'all have one of y'all biting off my nose, and somebody gonna try to French kiss it. No. It's gonna be licking on my ear. Yo, freaks.
That part.
But ooh, that Miss Shack would just sit on it. She'd be ooh.
Sherwin,
what? No, she would. If you ask her, where's Linda at? Linda, you in the chat? She would sit on it.
That brother's starving.
If there was a cake made in my likeness, and those cakes are very realistic, so the cake would look just like me. It'd probably have a hat on and everything. People would suck on the neck of the cake.
Now, you know how people make balloon animals, right? This is a cake done by Kimberly Sweets.
If she can make a cake look like a balloon animal like that, Homer, then she could very much make a cake almost perfectly to my likeness to where I wouldn't let anybody touch it. Because I might be traumatized if somebody took a slice of my cheek and started eating. Sherwin's face is good. Because then they might...
Give me the picture of you that you want.
No, I'm not. I can't do that, Homer. You're gonna have to steal. You're gonna have to steal a picture. You're gonna have to. Ricky, never mind, man. Hello, who is this?
Yeah, this is Bobby. I'd like to make a suggestion on how to use the old Northridge area.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bobby. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Oh, right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I would suggest that, Milwaukee has put a lot of money into becoming a convention city. Why don't we use a portion of that land to build a football stadium on something like a college stage level where we could use it for multiple events throughout the year?
We don't have any college football teams here.
No, I know that, but a lot of times they have these different bowls that teams could come and play at, and also with a indoor closed facility, closed stadium like that, you can do all kind of things. You can have all kind of car shows come, rodeos come, different things, different events, but we don't have that kind of space and that kind of arena downtown. Maybe that could be an off-site for something.
Between the Fiserv and the new Live Nation music venue that they're building, they wouldn't build something that would compete and take business away from the Fiserv and the Dare District. A novel idea, but not anything that somebody would invest in. But I appreciate your call, Bobby, for a second time. But no, I don't. I think y'all are like, it's a cake. Here's what we need to build. That cake looks just like Mario. Mm-hmm. Which means you're not getting a picture of me because I don't want a cake that looks that realistically like me because I wouldn't let anybody eat my face. Because then somebody might get curious as to, what does Sherwin really taste like? Remember, Dahmer was from Milwaukee. So I don't want someone seeing a delicious chocolate cake made in my likeness, eating the cake and be like, I wonder what the real Sherwin actually tastes like. But considering what I know about the city of Milwaukee, you know what the best use of the Northridge land is? Knowing all that I know and all the discussions that we've had. And I take all of this stuff in, the things that we discuss.
Pandora bracelet cake.
Is this on her website or on her Facebook?
On her Facebook.
What's her Facebook name?
Kimberly Sweets Adams.
All right. Here's what we put out there where Northridge is. Build a prison. Hold on, hear me out. Build a prison because we have offenders. We have criminals. Prisons are economic development because prisons have staff. They have secretaries and wardens and safety and security. There's going to have to be landscaping. There's going to have to be IT specialists. And it's a whole bunch of jobs. Put a prison out there. And if you build that prison right there in the shadow of that neighborhood, maybe some people will think
Bobby
twice.
Porter's birthday cake.
Let me see this here.
That's all cake.
Nah, that can't be.
It is. It is.
No, she's not getting my picture. I got to take a break now. Build a prison out there at Northridge. That's economic development. Y'all want to go visit, you can. Sometimes you might be able to stay for a couple years if you want to go visit. But I don't want people to think that, if we build a huge sports complex, it would be for other people if we did that. And what Milwaukee already does, and this is problematic for me, and I noticed this. So right before the pandemic, there was a very unusual study that came out that said we had more jobs available in the city of Milwaukee that paid better than $40,000. Some paid $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. We had more available jobs than we had Milwaukee residents to fill them. So we have to import people from other places, namely surrounding suburbs. So we, for many years, said, we need jobs in Milwaukee. We want 53206 to have jobs. Jobs were created. The city of Milwaukee did land deals, created tax incremental financing districts, and corporate employers came. Hell, Northwestern Mutual spent $500 million building a new damn tower. So we got so many jobs here in the city of Milwaukee. Here's what we found. Milwaukee residents who are unemployed and underemployed don't even have the skills to fill the jobs that we created in the city of Milwaukee. Then I took that concept and I asked a question. I think it was last year or the year before. This is when Denise and Telly were on the morning show. Benjamin was still here with Carrie. And then, I think there might have been, and Dr. Ken, of course. And I asked them, how many people here at Milwaukee Black Talk is our theme. There was a period of time where the majority of the people that worked at The Truth or had shows weren't even from here. Think about that for a second. Denise is from Indiana. Dr. Ken is from Chicago. Ben is from Racine. Telly Hughes is from East St. Louis. So that is a phenomenon that we have to deal with. If we build things, it will be for other people. And I was embarrassed. The fact that as far as daily hosts go, it was just me and Tori Lowe are the only ones that have shows that are actually from Milwaukee. And you might not even count me because I grew up in Brown Deer. So look at that. So if we build something, it might be for them. We'll take a break, come back. We're going to talk to Lisa. She always has very insightful things to say. Homer, Lisa is our resident Jehovah.
Okay.
So she gives us all of the witness testimony.
Oh, Lisa Gross?
I don't know what her last name is, but I know she knows Prince.
All right.
So she's an interesting person to talk to. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and my special in-studio guest who rode with me for the whole show, Homer Below. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care. Your home has been working hard for you. Now it's time to let it work a little harder. With a home equity line of credit from Brewery Credit Union, you can turn the equity you've built into smart solutions. Pay off high-interest debt, remodel your kitchen, or take care of life's unexpected expenses with flexible access to funds when you need them. Apply today and put your home's value to work for you. Visit brewerycu.com or stop by Brewery Credit Union. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? We all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. That's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and,
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
They say you can't have cake and eat it too. But ain't that what you're supposed to do? Ain't you supposed to eat it too? Ain't that what you're supposed to do?
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is the proud home of the Milwaukee Panthers basketball. Panthers basketball is back in action tonight, everybody, as they take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits at the Fiserv Forum. Scott Warres has the cover starting at 3:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set for 4 p.m. Ricky, this is a different kind of cake.
You eat cake, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Exactly. We talking about cakes.
Yeah, but
cakes on the menu.
Yeah, but they're talking about a different kind of cake.
No.
What's this freaky dude name to sing that song? What his name is? That's Trey Songz. That's right. He's a freak. In fact, I know a woman that met him, and she said she had to sign an NDA. So she didn't disclose to me either why she had to sign the NDA. But he's a freak, and the cake he's talking about is different kind of cake than.
How you know?
He's not talking about a delicious sugary confection made of layers and frosting.
Why you break it down?
Because that's not what he's talking about. Homer and I are talking about actual real dessert cakes.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about too.
No, Trey Songz is talking about the other kind of cake. But
listen,
I like cake.
I will revoke your DJ privilege if you sit here and honestly say that that's what he's talking about.
Homer.
Come on, no. Can you stand on that?
Ricky, no.
Yes or no?
Ricky,
yes or no?
It's just jokes.
Okay, I'm
Ricky,
just
you
saying,
eat cake?
You're gonna learn today.
Yeah, what kind of cake you like? What kind? You be eating cakes?
You said what?
Do you eat cakes?
Yes.
What kind of cakes you like? You like all them cakes?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
Real scrumptious, delicious.
Homer, are you a cake eater? Well, you're showing me pictures of cake.
Yes. He's been married to the same cake for a couple years.
Yeah.
For a whole lot of years.
No, Cheryl makes different kinds of cakes. She probably makes chocolate cake, and she probably makes coconut cakes, and she makes caramel cakes.
I like yellow cakes or butter cakes.
I do too.
Caramel cakes. Yeah.
I like light skinned cakes. Who? You do. You said yellow and butter cakes.
So stupid.
Those are light skinned cakes. No, I'm just saying they're lighter in color and texture.
Okay, so what cakes are we talking about again?
The ones you eat. You ever get frosting all over your face?
You know what?
No, you get no frosting on your face. You gotta let's talk to Lisa.
Officially after dark.
Lisa, how do you feel about cake?
I am making a caramel or caramel cake for the Terry Christmas Day. Yeah, I normally make a chocolate cake, but I done made that for the Thanksgiving Day. So now,
all right, because your people don't celebrate the holidays. You don't celebrate Christmas.
No, but unfortunately, my family, they have a fit if I don't cook. And my mama brought me up to cook, so I've been cooking for years. And I'm tired. I told them I'm tired of eating the same food, so we're doing something different. We having crab cakes and fettuccine and T-bone steaks and corned beef and cabbage and lasagna. They want spaghetti and catfish. And I got to make. Well, that's easy to cook. Oh, that's simple. You'll cook that in about 4 or 5 hours. But I got to bake my cake the day before because making a cake from scratch takes about 3 hours. So, and the caramel that takes a long time to make too.
Sure.
So.
I would argue it takes at least 18 years to make a cake, but that's fine. That's good. It sounds delicious.
But if you're using the cake mix that Ricky Allen was talking about, it'd take you about 10 months.
Doesn't take
cake mix.
Lisa,
I take from scratch. Everything I do, I make from
10
scratch.
months.
Lisa, we are talking about something that's flying over everybody's heads. So, anything else that you wanted to contribute?
Oh, You guys have great ideas for Northridge.
Yes.
Yeah, that was over my head, Homer. You're wrong for that.
Hey.
If it was naughty, you're wrong.
No,
But,
it's nice.
Northridge, I think everybody, you have great ideas, but you got to realize you have neighbors around in the front and the back, and then you have an elderly community right there, and it's nice up in there. It's really nice up in there. So you have to do like you said, Sherwin, a data center. I would say also put like a medical clinic there. You know, where doctors can have certain rooms they want to, use for a particular day that they, might have a day off and they want to see patients that might have urgently or something like that. So I think that would be a good idea for either two of those. Nothing, you got to realize that not a lot of noise. You're in an elderly community, not a lot of noise. It's quiet over there. Keep it quiet over there. Keep it quiet. And you know what? The people are not going to want to have it anyway. So anything with noise, you can forget it. They're not going to allow you to have it.
Yeah, but development comes with a little bit of disturbance of the peace. We need economic development over there, Lisa, and we need to develop a tax base because you know what I'm tired of, Lisa? I'm tired of them raising our sales taxes. I just got my property tax bill. Mm-hmm. I've been living in my house for 22 years. This is the most I've ever paid in property taxes, and it's only going to go up unless we build something that can generate revenue that is outside of downtown. I like the hospital idea.
So you're saying the data center can't build revenue?
Say it again?
The data center can't? The data center can't build revenue, or the medical clinic can't build revenue?
It could, but I think that more of our people, if I look at disparities and where we want to lessen some of the disparities that exist, black people have some health disparities. And if you live in that portion of the city, the far northwest side, your closest healthcare facility is really, really far away. You're supposed to have, on average, 2.5 to 3 emergency room beds per 1,000 people, and we are falling short of that in the city of Milwaukee. So I think a medical facility with doctors' offices and specialists, and then the additional economic development that would come, because you're going to have a bunch of people with six-figure plus salaries going to that area to work, and eventually the needs that they're going to have as consumers and restaurant needs and housing, I think could all be taken care of. But Lisa, Homer and I got to take a commercial break now.
Okay, have a good day, Homer. And
you too.
Sherwin.
Love you and appreciate you.
Love you, love.
All right, then, Lisa. Have a good weekend. Well, this is our last segment.
I can't do cousins anymore, Sherwin. Homer Blow.
You're supposed to be off the phone.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I can't. I'm sad because I can't do cousins anymore.
Didn't nobody ask you nothing about? Ain't nobody. Hold on, Lisa. Why you over here doing an encore? Ain't nobody ask you nothing about no cousins?
I'm just saying because Homer Blow always reminds me of this.
Clubs up.
Cousins up.
Stop. No, Homer is an employee.
And I can't do cousins no more.
That's sad.
Club employee.
I know he an employee. But hey. But he mentioned the cousin sub, which I'm upset I can't take anymore. Eat anymore. Darn it!
Why not?
I need a kidney. Somebody give me a kidney.
Another reason why we need to build a medical facility out on the far northwest side. Thank you, Lisa. Good God Almighty! The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and my special co-host, the legendary Homer Blow, will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site, and to all a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Restrictions apply. 12/31/2025.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Calidora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Y'all better get ready to rumble. Got to run like a tumble. Spicy like gumbo. Spice on the bungle. Y'all look, ain't ready. Tasting the boat.
Some of this old No Limit stuff goes so hard.
You really probably can see me with a bird's eye view.
Hard time he doing.
He sure is in prison, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Silk the Shocker is in prison too, ain't he?
No.
What? No. See Murder. That's who's in prison.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So it happened when you be down for you.
Yeah, and you ride for him too. You know what I mean? That's not always the best advice. What have we learned today? We learned that many of us like cake. Light-skinned cakes. No, like caramel and like buttercreams.
Butter cake.
You know, I've been known to be a bit of a sloppy eater. You know what I mean? I get frosting on my face. Like, how did that frosting?
What?
No, because I shove it in my mouth.
This is a sick Negro.
Yes, he is.
No. I get so overwhelmed.
So you put butter cake and the cream that comes with it, you shove it in your face?
Best part, yeah.
Okay.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Yes. And if you ask her name one more time, Homer, Kimberly
Sweets.
Kimberly
at Signature Sweets. Yeah.
If she makes a cake in my likeness, then people would be eating me and they would chew me and they would swallow me up. Which I don't think. I feel really uncomfortable if there was a cake, because those are very realistic looking cakes.
They are.
And she can make it look just like me, and then people will be like, "Ooh, let me sit on this cake."
Dude, you know
it
what?
Tastes so good.
This is the views and opinions expressed by.
We don't do disclaimers here. We probably should. No, I'm just talking about desserts. I love desserts.
I know. And the butter and the cream and
yes.
You know, it's a lot of cakes that's going to be made for the holiday season.
Well, not a lot, but selective cakes.
Okay. But all the cakes won't be good.
No, they will not. And also, you can't eat everybody's cake. Just like, you know what I mean? When you go to people's houses, you can't always. Like, I want to see your kitchen.
True.
Homer, people will put the most delicious looking plates on the internet to sell. Mm-hmm. Like, that's cool. The plate looks good, but I want to see where it's made at.
Right, absolutely.
I want to see how you live it.
Are your cats walking across the counter that you are using for the ingredients?
Definitely want to know about the cats. What kind of cat is it?
You see,
long hair? No, I'm saying some cats.
Okay.
You never see the one cat that's got no hair on it?
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on, Homer. Let me explain.
Bruh.
If you have that kind of cat, then it doesn't shed. So it's fine to have that kind of a hairless cat, a kitten, a feline.
Bruh.
What? Ricky, you're making it worse. You're making it seem like I'm talking about something I'm not talking about.
I'm actually trying to sit in with you sometimes because you are.
Homer, you're always
you go
welcome.
to the extreme, bruh. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But yeah.
Well,
because I have the I don't know.
We talk about food a lot on my show, right? That's a common topic, Ricky. You know that. And because my show essentially ends right at lunchtime, I'm getting a little hungry. So if we bring up the idea of cake, somebody even texted me and offered to bake a cake for me. They actually, Homer,
yellow cake, butter cake with cream.
Here, you want to read that one right there, Homer? Don't read it on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
So Ricky, stop that.
So why you want to read it out loud?
Oh no. We talked about Northridge. I'm going to post in the Hughes Views Facebook group the PowerPoint presentation where the city of Milwaukee is entertaining many different development ideas for Northridge. I think this is an opportunity for us to get that development right. They also are going to be having a public meeting on January 21st, 2026, from 5 until 7 p.m. at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. That is the Granville Redevelopment Public Meeting and Open House. January 21st, 2026, from 5 until 7. I will be there. I hope that some of you are there as well because I've got a very deep affection for Northridge. That is the mall that I went to go and eat and for my recreation and to shop and to see movies. This is back when your parents would drop you off at the mall at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and for $7 you could eat McDonald's, go to the video game arcade, and see a movie. So I've got deep, long, affectionate memories about Northridge. So, of course, I want to be a part of the process to make sure that redevelopment,
You like carrot cake, right?
I love it.
So with carrot cake seem to be infected then? Because that's a different, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different components to a carrot cake.
It's also cake and vegetables,
but I'm saying, like, if it's a chocolate cake, you know what I'm saying? If it's a butter cake.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yellow cake.
It's not a purebred cake.
Right. It seems like it has some impurities.
That's okay. I eat the impurities. Well, because it's all, delicious flavors that blend together.
So you do showers, too?
Now, that's too far.
I'm just saying.
Ricky! I like carrot cake. I like the frosting. I like a good, thick cream cheese frosting.
Okay. Cream cheese. Now, that sounds infected.
No, it sounds rich and thick, and it sounds decadent.
No, but it sounds infectious.
I don't know. You guys
You brought me into your web, man.
But I'm talking
and I'm there for it. I'm just telling you. I'm there for it.
I'm talking about delicious desserts and cakes.
No.
You guys are talking about infected.
No. You're talking about the color is different. So that would be,
10 seconds. Thank you guys for listening. Homer, I appreciate you sitting in. This was a great time. Please, everybody, stay warm. It's a little chilly outside, and please have a safe and prosperous weekend. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is up next. Goodbye.
Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo! You just